get back on. I might have cut the stream completely. Can we get this camera back? It's busy, it says. Damn it. Share screen. Can it come back in? Damn it. Share camera. Damn it. This is bad. Log in. I think the cops just took that out again. Damn it. How do I get back to that share camera? Share camera. Damn it, it won't let that back on. All right, so let's try. We'll switch. Please stand by, everyone. I'm gonna try to, I don't know if that ended the broadcast or what. Are we still broadcasting on the same stream? Looks like it ended it. No, okay, it reconnected. Okay, so that's good. Let me see if I can get the other camera to join. That'll be pretty interesting if it'll work. I think somebody hit me with some technology intended to disrupt. Well, let's just see if we can get this to rejoin. So it's still connected there. Log out. I need some elevator music. Doo, doo, doo. But that was quite a scene. And I mean, again, since the cops failed to arrest me, they might be pissed off and want to end the broadcast. That would make sense. It still says 14 Pro is busy. All right, so let's try switching to the other camera. And that might be an okay time to do that anyway. If that one won't connect, this one also might not, but this is a less elegant transition than what I had planned. But if it works, then it'll be good. Stand by, everybody. We still might be able to recover this broadcast without having to go to a new one. I do think the cops have the ability to just point something at you and disrupt a cell phone broadcast. It's been happening long enough that they have to know that that's something that they might want to do from time to time. So let's see if we can get this camera going. That was an interesting moment, for sure. Give us some insight into what the hell is going on here in the park. See if we can connect to this. Okay, so we got low data mode, but we don't want that. Okay, let's see if this will let us in. Would be great. Come on, shelf paper. There we go. Talk about a recovery. Boom. Now we got hours more of recording time. Isn't that great? I'm glad we were able to recover that. So we still got a continuous stream going on X. Let's check Odyssey. It's a good bet that if it's still working on X, oh no. How are my people on Odyssey doing? Do we still have a continuous stream? Yes. Looks like we do. Oh, but it says it started 9 seconds ago, so it's possible this is a second stream on Odyssey. Sorry about that, Odyssey friends. That's all right. We can still watch it. And I'll have a fully assembled one on Odyssey later today. And if the broadcast had not been able to reconnect, there would be, as I said, a sponsor exclusive for viewers on odyssey.com/@crowdsourcethetruth, crowdsourcethetruth.substack.com, and of course, subscribestar.com and patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth. See, this guy's like the kingpin of news photographers over here, sitting there holding court. Oh, I can't zoom in as much with this camera, but that's all right. See, this guy's also coming back over to their main base. They all seem to be together. And remember when Oren Levi was here with his friends, they all left together. I don't know. I mean, you know, these are just observations. Did everybody here on X have a continuous stream? I think so. Yeah, I mean, who thinks I'm an agitator? That's what they want you to think. That's all the agitators saying I'm an agitator. Revolver. What are they saying about Norm Eisen? Yeah, no, they had a lot about him a long time ago. Yeah, I wonder, has he, Darren Beatty, seen that Norm Eisen conversation? Yeah, I mean, these two are like very chummy for people who don't know each other. So remember, the allegation is that the news photographers and these actors are all in a pool of people who are very much compliant with the NYPD, if not working for the NYPD. I think they're working for them to put these screwy deals together. Now, how's everybody doing on like Subscribestar and Patreon and all that? Let's see if that remained continuous. I hope it did. It's difficult for me to log into all these different things while remote here. Are we still going here on? No, it looks like it might have ended. So yeah, again, for people on these other channels, I will have a complete, yeah, I think the cops took me out. Yeah, I hear them calling me an agitator, Arletta, but first of all, these aren't Trump supporters, and second of all, I don't do things based on whether or not it's going to piss people off. I do things based on whether or not I think it's the right thing to do. And notice all those people, they are the agitators. The primary guy who was yelling and screaming was the bum from Staten Island. And it's a little weird how he first wanted to talk to me about that allegation, but then without even talking to me, just decided that it was a false agitation. There's also, what is that guy, how is that guy coming here every day? What is his job? What is he doing? If not being paid to come here and just do that. People understand what I'm doing here. It's interesting to see that Twitter is the only one that remained continuous. Sorry about that for everybody else. I don't know, that's interesting that the one day the guy set himself on fire was the day that none of these photographers were here. And David doesn't want to talk about that. The cops are always condescending and rude. And they weren't trying to be helpful. It's like, you know, when one guy is talking to you and the other guy is interrupting, him being the supervisor doesn't make that okay. The cops are trying to do some kind of like you know, interrogation. Cops are terrible at de-escalating anything. They're just, you know, they're kind of terrible at everything. I have not seen good performance by the NYPD in many, many years, and it's just getting worse. Now, if this woman's a journalist, why does she need to cover her face so much? Doesn't make a lot of sense. We've got a bit of a lull here. Let's see, what does Andrew Giuliani say is going on inside there? Can the jury be trusted, Dershowitz is asking. Oh, right, this is the other thing, is that we've got a claim on TMZ, and the first person I saw talking about this was Norm. That there's a claim that Donald Trump has used the N-word, and we've heard allegations, but nobody has played the tape. And isn't it interesting that if this happened all these years ago, why is this just coming out now, when it looks like Trump is maybe going to have a successful outcome, or rather, that the lawfare contingent is going to have an unsuccessful outcome? Because a hung jury really, I've learned yesterday, according to one legal expert on the news, wouldn't actually be that good, because it would allow this judge to decide when the trial would be reheard, and it could be fairly immediate. And oh my God, 19-year-old son of CEO Susan Wojcicki was killed by an overdose of anxiety medication and cocaine. That sounds terrible. Andrew Giuliani. There he is. He says 28 minutes ago, still on this fart, where he's saying that that's apparently a tactic. Now, it looks like he was at Umberto's Clam House. Good lunch. Yeah, so I mean, you know, people are slipping out of there without being seen. So I don't know all the exits out of the courthouse. Nothing really about what's going on in there. It's all just the action here. I don't know. I don't find this authentic at all. That guy looks like a cop. We got a lull, I guess, because of the lunch break, but yeah, I mean, the cops, of course, are not going to do anything to stop somebody from doing things you're not supposed to do in the park, like rollerblading, bicycling, any of that. Do that all you want. All right, so we're kind of like fully charged here. Got a new phone up top with more battery. But what do we think is going to happen? And by the way, all of this like yelling and shouting at people, this is not the way authentic Trump supporters, in my experience, act. It just never is. People are usually polite at these things. But not these guys. They want to start a fight, it seems.
cardboard cutouts that are different people's faces.
He's got the one headset in. I don't know, does that seem like security kind of move or something?
Hey, Sandy, what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely more reporters and agitators in this park than really anything else. Actually, I think I've seen that cop protecting Johnny Tobacco in the past. And now he's just watching this lady. I guarantee if I start talking to somebody and a fight starts, that guy will come right over. David, did you see that report I did about Max Azzarello and the fact that it was fake, that he burned himself up?
Dude, on real media, I don't have an opinion either way. You constantly approach me about stuff.
That's the second time.
I don't have.
I just asked you, and the last time I asked you, you walked away the second
Exactly.
I said it. Seemed weird.
I have no.
But don't you
opinion
think
on that.
that's shocking if somebody lit themselves on fire and it was fake and you took a picture the day before he was here and none of these reporters were here on the day that he set himself on fire?
I wasn't here, so.
But doesn't that seem strange to you? You're not interested at all in hearing the evidence?
Nope.
No, huh?
What's up, buddy?
It's interesting. He's real news. That's a pretty rude implication, Mr. Delgado. You don't care.
It's like we're not all supposed to be nice.
Well, you're never nice. You're always rude.
All right.
And I think you're lying, too. I think you know
Okay.
that that was fake, and I think you deliberately took that picture the day before and had it published the
your
day
opinion.
after
That's your opinion.
to make people think that Max was
your
in
opinion,
the
and
park
I'm fine
on
with
that
that.
day. It's like a little magic trick, right? Where you don't quite say he was there, but you present all the information to deceive people. You're real news.
engaged enough, I'm
You're
not gonna-
fucking fake as hell, bro.
Sure.
New York Post. Did you take the picture of Jeffrey Epstein on the gurney coming out of the detention center? Because that was fake too. That wasn't Epstein. That was you who took that, wasn't it? That was not Epstein, was it? That was some different guy. But see, you help the cops, so then they tell you stuff like when Epstein is coming out of the detention center, so you can get the exclusive photo, and then you're the guy, or one of your people. You're obviously the Mac Daddy telling all these photographers when they have assignments. You told me everybody else was already
I'm
on
fake news.
assignment.
I'm
You
fake
are
news.
totally fake
Thank
news.
you.
You're also a jerk. Everybody sees how this works. Constantly. Spoke to that guy once before in real life and once on the telephone. And I didn't ask him anything about this on the telephone other than was he here on the day? And he told me he wasn't, which was obvious because the photo was dated the day before. So he's a fucking liar. No integrity. And he's part of this bullshit. Did you see that little altercation that happened?
No, I just got here.
I was having a conversation, quiet conversation with two people. Elderly Chinese gentleman charges at me with his phone, gets right in my face, taking my picture, mumbling some crap I can't understand. I back up. I don't know if you're from New York, but this is a castle doctrine state where you have an obligation to retreat when somebody's attacking
so
you.
dumb.
So I back up, the guy advances towards me, he's screaming and yelling. Obviously everybody surrounds us. They want this to be the moment. These people are all here to do exactly that.
I
To
wouldn't say
make-
that. I know these people are here to pray. They come here, she comes here every day to pray.
Maybe not her,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of people in this crowd who are clearly agitators. The guy who's holding the big flag over there had a different costume on
You
this
know,
morning.
this is the issue. The freedom of speech gives you a lot of leeway. First Amendment gives you a lot of leeway, but there's no question there are people that come out to these things simply to agitate. And,
I'm saying it's the police that are organizing because
yeah,
they
it's hard.
protect
I mean,
these
I couldn't
people,
tell you that.
and I've seen
But
them at a
they've
lot of
let a
different
lot of
things.
it go But it goes back to the defunding of the police. It goes back to a DA who doesn't prosecute crimes. These guys, if you get in a fight right now, they could arrest you. They could take you, book you, but within 20 minutes, you're going to be let out, and they're going to be doing paperwork
Oh no,
for 4
I'm not
hours.
going to be let out. I guarantee you, if a fight happens here, I, Jason Goodman, would be arrested immediately.
I don't think so. I think you're. Yeah, you might be arrested,
And you're
going to be let out. The problem is they get the DAs don't charge. That's the problem.
They
We
would
have a
charge
lawless
me.
Society.
They would charge me.
I would believe it when I saw it.
I have a lawsuit
Unless-
against the NYPD right now.
Well, then maybe they would.
I've been tracking these people for 7 years,
Yeah.
and whenever I ask
I'm
them
not
these questions,
familiar with you, but if you may be right. You do have a pretty interesting setup with the cell phones all connected
Thank
together.
you.
Though. Okay, I got to run.
have a nice day.
Yes, sir.
Take care. This lady's part of it. She's here to pray every day. I'm not saying that's not happening, but there's something else going on as well. So this is like deep waiting mode. Everybody's just at lunch. What do we got here? Yeah, I mean, all these guys just aimlessly walking around who look like gigantic bruisers. I'm nearly certain I've seen that bald guy protecting Johnny Tobacco in the past, but they're all hanging out on the periphery here. They don't have signs. They're all the same, like, you know, bald, like, bruiser-looking dudes. These are cops. Yeah, and they're looking at me. You know, this is a little game these schmucks play. I'm real news. I love it when people say stuff like that to me. He thinks he's insulting me. He's not real news. If he was real at all, he would be interested. A natural person's curiosity. I'm not asking him to write an article about it. I'm just saying, how could you not be shocked if you covered something as unusual and just outrageous as a guy setting himself on fire? I mean, the answer is the guy knows. So, I mean, what's likely to happen if there's a verdict is that people are going to go crazy. But yeah, I mean, all these bald guys hanging around. Now, wait a minute. You. I know you, don't I?
You look familiar.
Didn't you approach me on January 6th?
No. I was. Why you were out there? I wasn't out there. No.
You're right. You're a different guy.
Thank God you're not. Thank God you're not in jail just for showing up.
No, yeah, but you look just like that guy from over there. You're not him.
Definitely not.
Definitely
If
not.
I was there and walking in peacefully, I'd be in jail.
That's true. No, it's not. It's
Thank
not
God
you.
you're
but
not in jail.
Thanks.
Listen, I want to say something. I
Yeah.
know they gave you a hard time here. I was telling him, and I said to him, whether you're anti or for, you still have your rights as a human being to address them. I heard what you said. Abuse, this and that. Even if you said, fuck you, I hate you, Trump, that's your right.
No. I support
That is,
Trump.
but that is your right.
Here's the interesting thing that's
And I
going
like,
on.
before you go, and I like the fact you told the officer, hey, look, I ain't stopping filming. That's my right. You're right.
Yeah.
So I don't care if you spit on the ground and said, I hate Trump. You have rights like everybody else.
Thank you.
You were on that.
Thank
and I
you.
appreciate, and I told him, I respected the way you handle yourself. You were calm, cool, and intelligent.
Thank you.
You didn't let this get in the way. You used this.
Yes.
Cop, you disarmed the cop. I'm
Thank
sorry.
you.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So I support Trump, and I have a show called Crowdsource the Truth that is focused on untangling corruption. I had a video, if you look at Twitter at all, X,
I'm on.
where I was yelling at Norm Eisen as he came out of the court the other day. And I basically told all these people...
How corrupt? What's going on here in your...
It's totally corrupt. The
Thank
thing
you.
that I said to Norm Eisen was, when the attorney who had one attorney-client privileged meeting with Michael Cohen, that attorney, Robert Costello,
Right.
when he testified, he said that Cohen told him
Right.
that it was Cohen's idea to pay the prostitute out of his own money from a HELOC loan, and that Trump never even knew about it.
Right.
Additionally, there's been no witness that can connect Trump to the ledger entry made by Alan Weisselberg. So what we seem to have is,
So what's going on?
what's going on is there's,
Just tell me what's going on.
okay, you've heard the term lawfare.
Yes.
It's
Being
not
used-
just a buzzword.
No, I understand. I
Lawfare
understand
is a
that word.
tactic, and it's also a nonprofit institute run by this guy named Ben Wittes, who I also yelled at last week over here when he came out of the trial. These guys have set this whole thing up where they coerced Michael Cohen to pay the hooker and to just say
But
that
that's
all
not
of
a
this-
crime, is it?
No, none of it is a crime. It's
Okay,
all
good.
made up.
Right.
So in other words, here's what happens. Michael Cohen tells Costello.
Who's a criminal?
Yes. He calls Costello, who's in a law firm, and he says, I just got raided by the FBI. I need to meet with you to talk about representing me as my lawyer. Now, if you're a lawyer, you get a call from somebody who says, I've been raided and I need a lawyer. You go and meet the guy. You're not looking him up. Is he lying or whatever? Even if he is lying, you're a lawyer, you're representing criminals. This is what you do. So he meets him at the Regency Hotel. The thing that's confusing people is that Costello never actually gets retained by Cohen. They just have an initial conference during which they do have an attorney-client privileged
Without contract.
conversation.
I did not know that. Without a contract, without signing an agreement, or do they still have?
The point is just going to the meeting with the attorney and having the conversation, the contents of that conversation are protected by attorney-client privilege, even if he never hired. So if he goes away and gets another attorney,
Is that right?
this guy who
Just
he
by
met
a
with,
simple conversation and meeting.
yes.
That is.
So in other words, let's say he meets with Costello and he ultimately hires somebody else. And then the opposite side tries to retain Costello. Costello would have to say, I can't represent you in this case because I have a conflict. I've already met with the defendant and he shared certain privileged information with me. Now, the thing that happens later is Cohen goes to the FBI and tells them, Costello and Giuliani tried to bribe me with a presidential pardon. Now, that's false. But Cohen, in order to testify to the FBI, has to sign an attorney-client privilege waiver to talk about the contents of that meeting. So then the FBI calls Costello and they say, we'd like you to come in. We want to interview you about your representation. What's that?
You got two feds right behind.
Oh, I know, obviously.
Yeah.
But he says, we want you to come in and we're going to interview about your representation of Michael Cohen. And Costello is a very experienced attorney. He's in his 70s. He's been a prosecutor for 45 years. He used to work in the Southern District of New York with Rudy Giuliani as an assistant U.S. attorney. And I allege that's the reason Michael Cohen is contacting his law firm. Because think about it. Giuliani just turned 80. This guy Costello...
They're going after him too, big time.
Right. Costello looks like he's 72, 75, something like that. How many former assistant U.S. attorneys who worked with Rudy Giuliani in that office are A, still alive, and B, still practicing law? Costello might be the only guy, maybe the only guy in New York still, certainly one of a very small number. So Cohen calls him because Cohen's plan is to set him up and go right to the FBI and say this, hoping that the FBI will get this guy in their clutches and say, oh, well, Mr. Costello, you're working with Giuliani to bribe this guy with a presidential pardon. That's a huge crime. You're going to jail for 15 years. Why don't you sign this plea agreement with us that says you did something else? We'll give you a suspended sentence or probation and you can go out right now. But then we're going to take this plea agreement, we're going to use that to prosecute Giuliani. Then we're going to go to Giuliani and say, hey, you're 80, and instead of going to jail for 15 years, why don't you sign this agreement that says Trump did X, Y, and Z, and then on the strength of that plea agreement, they would go after Trump. But it all fell apart because Costello is too smart. So what we have here is, I make the analogy to the film business. I was in the film business before I was doing this, and the way that business works is somebody writes a script, and then somebody says, this is good, we're gonna make a movie. And then when I get involved, I'm the cameraman. We're on set. And today, we're supposed to be shooting a scene in the park and it's supposed to be overcast and raining, but the weatherman was all wrong, and it's bright and sunny, so we got to do something else. All right, well, this is our only day in New York, so we need to rewrite the script. It's not raining, but we shot that thing the other day where it was raining. That's got to connect to this. So somebody's got to come up with some kind of clever improvisation to make this work. And that's what these guys are doing inside here. They did not jam up Costello. They're still trying to jam up Giuliani, but they're running out of time on that because they'd love to have Giuliani in here testifying to something that he already pled out to, but they don't have that. So instead,
What do they have? What?
nothing.
That's what I'm hearing. There is nothing here.
Yes.
Okay, but we both know more than likely he's going to be found guilty of something.
That's because the judge has been manipulating the rules and the law.
I saw it. I heard it. Right, 100%. That's what I'm saying. So what happens? Let's just say he's guilty. What goes? Is there an appeal, or does he go to jail?
Well,
What
they
goes-
could, if they succeed in finding a unanimous guilty verdict, the judge could say, okay, take him to jail right now. And this afternoon, they could take him out to jail. And I think that's extremely dangerous because you guys strike me as legitimate Trump supporters who are interested in this. You're over here, you're relaxed, you're not wearing some bizarre costume, running around, banging noisemakers and going crazy.
We want to meet people like you. We want to get more educated. I'm not as educated as you on these matters.
People are curious because this is weird. Even if you
I'm
don't
hearing
know
there's
the...
nothing here from it. I'm listening on InfoWars with attorneys coming on Alex Jones saying this has never happened in the history
Right.
of America. These are not me. I don't know shit. There's nothing here. The system is turned upside down.
Right.
Is it true?
Yes,
These
I
are the
agree with
experts.
that.
I'm not an expert.
I agree with that. So let's
Okay.
go back to this term lawfare.
Yeah.
So normally, when you have a regular case, there's this tension that exists where the judge doesn't want to make a lot of crazy
We'll be your
rulings.
film, by the way.
Oh, I
That's
noticed.
fine. That's fine. No problem. What's your name?
My name is Jason Goodman.
Hey, Jason.
Thank you for
I'm
speaking.
Joe.
Joe?
That's Daniel.
Hey, Jason.
Daniel?
Brooklyn guy?
Yes. I'm Jason. You're Daniel, you said?
Yes.
Brooklyn guy?
No. Well, my parents are from Brooklyn,
Everybody
but
was.
yeah, Bronx, and then Long
Bronx
Island. No, now I live in Manhattan.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, there normally exists this tension where a judge doesn't want to make a lot of crazy rulings because they're going to get overturned on appeal. And the judge is concerned with their reputation. You don't want to be the guy who's incompetent and everything you do gets overturned on appeal.
Is he really concerned with that, this guy?
Not now, because this is the
He's been
trial of
spoken-
his
do you
life.
believe right. Do you believe, obviously there was 6 or 7, from what I'm hearing, 6 or 7 DAs that didn't even want to look at this.
Right.
Called Alvin Bragg into the White House. He went to his master's, and he came out, no, we're going after him. Is the judge in on that?
Absolutely, in my opinion.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so this
Because
is,
he, unlike that tension that normally exists, this judge is saying, well, somebody went to him and said, hey, we're going to funnel millions of dollars to your daughter's company
Right.
if you do this.
Right.
So the reason why a judge doesn't want to foul their reputation is because they want to have a job, and they could have this job for 20 years. But if somebody's going to give you $25 million, maybe you don't need that job anymore.
I agree,
Right.
100%. I'll take
right.
the money.
Let me start enjoying my life.
Correct.
Yeah.
I don't
Right,
have to worry
and his
about
daughter, you see what she's getting. It's over 100 million now.
Wow,
Oh,
right.
wow.
So, I mean, listen, by the way, nothing bad is going to happen to this judge if it gets overturned on appeal. They're just going to overturn it.
No, he's part of the,
Even if he gets censured, even if he gets impeached, so what? He's not going to go to jail. He'll just go retire.
part of his-
He also looks like he's late 60s, early 70s. Could be perfect time for retiring.
Are you talking about Judge Murchie?
Yeah.
He's not 60s.
How old is he?
No, he's in his 40s probably.
What?
Exactly.
He's got
young.
gray
He's young.
hair.
No, well, I have gray hair.
And he's
well,
got
I'm
a
old.
daughter in her 20s or 30s.
No, he don't look that bad. He don't look that bad.
How could he be? I mean, the daughter is working. Let's see, how old
I'm
is
gonna
Juan
find out.
Marchand? Yeah,
His
let's
daughter's
find.
in his 20s. He's below 60.
No, he looks like a young guy unless it's an old picture.
24-year-old.
Yeah, no, that's it. They're showing you
If I
old
was
pictures.
guessing, I'd say 52, 48 to 52.
Oh, no, no.
Maybe not even 55. I agree completely. 50, like
48,
early
52.
50s.
Fair enough.
Early 50s.
There's a lot of old pictures of him around.
Just Judge Merchant age.
He's 62.
Oh, wow. He looks young for 62.
Yeah.
So even if he's 62, maybe he was planning on retiring when he's 65 and he's got 100 million there.
It's an old picture.
Listen, guys, I got to get out of the sun, but thanks for talking to me.
Listen, I respect what you did there.
Thank you. Crowdsource the truth.
Crowdsourced.
You calmly
Dismantled them.
completely.
dismantled,
They were
exactly.
trying to take away your rights.
Exactly, 100%.
But you did it in a calm, intelligent manner.
Right.
Thank
and I
you.
said to him, I said, this guy's, I thought you were anti-Trump. I said, this guy's really smart. I said, I respect what he did. Whether I agree with his politics, it doesn't matter. You have to stand up for our,
You have a
am
right.
I right?
You are absolutely right.
You're not instigating anything. I don't.
No, you did not. They came at you.
They ran right
and
over
you
to
said
me.
you've been assaulted and abused, and you weren't.
I have been many
But
times.
These are the ones who work with their mouth. You're the one who works up here. Big difference.
Thank you, gentlemen.
That's why you're smart.
You can look for me on Twitter and on YouTube. Crowdsource the truth. Thanks, guys. Take care. Likewise. See, there's plenty of real people here, but they're not jamming themselves into the foray and going crazy. And notice how the Chinese recon team came over and gave out their flyers while I was talking, because they're trying to counteract what I'm doing. I'm here trying to help people understand what's going on. They're here trying to weave a ridiculous and obviously false narrative. That's my opinion. Everybody watching is free to form their own opinion. I'm not trying to tell anybody what they have to think. Here comes the Staten Island Frankenstein. He'll just try to start another fight if I go over to him, so we'll wait for him to do that. Now, I can never tell a greyhound from a whippet. Maybe the whippet is smaller. Is this a greyhound or a whippet? Whippet, it is a whippet. Nice dog. So people with masks on are not for Trump, in my opinion. People changing their wardrobe in the middle of the day are not for Trump, in my opinion. People coming here with huge, crazy wigs. Hey, how you doing?
I am.
How you been? Good to see you. See, she's real. I forget what happened to her. She got into some trouble with the cops. Oh yeah, no, that's the woman who, when they painted the Black Lives Matter in front of Trump Tower, she spilled blue paint on it. And then everybody got mad at her because she's black. But she was trying to explain how BLM was taking advantage of black people, and she was out front with that. She's smart. So these cops are all waiting for me to get into something so that they can charge in and explain to me what the law isn't and argue. The cops really need a lot more training for how to deal with these situations. Oh yeah, here's this Vietnamese guy who is also causing problems. Where's Oren Levi? This guy, and there he is with his security dude again, I think. That guy's a problem starter.
Will you marry me?
Oh, yes, I sadly
Will? I would hate.
You already had the pictures done yet?
Somebody knows what's going to happen or has a plan for whatever happens. Well, unfortunately, for a variety of reasons, it's very difficult for me to see chat comments right now, just the nature of the way this broadcast came about. Just trying to think how I can resolve that here. All right, well, we're back to 30 people on Odyssey. Thanks for watching on Odyssey, everybody. Let me see if I can get to comments there. So that's, okay, here we go. Colombian crime family is so Daniel is saying acting Justice Merchan, a Colombian crime family shyster. I mean, is that a joke or is he involved? So, and then also Brad is saying, is Max still alive? I don't know. I haven't seen a, yeah, that's a good question. I mean, is an autopsy a public document? Was buffering when I was talking to Real News Delgado. Yeah, I think those guys might have equipment that allows them to disrupt a broadcast if they want to. Now, have people seen Kevin O'Leary? He was on Fox News talking about how this is damaging the American brand. And see, I gotta say something. I don't trust him at all. I think he is a a shyster who is interested in helping himself, but with specific regard, why does that guy have swimming flippers? What is going on with that? But what O'Leary was doing is he was saying, this is damaging America's brand. He was on like, what is that guy's name? Larry Kudlow. I kind of like Kudlow. There's just something funny about his presentation. Seems very authentic. I don't know. He's just, it sort of seems like he just left the bar and he's in there giving you a news broadcast. But, so he says to Kudlow, this is ruining the American brand, and that we need to, he wanted to make a law that unless the president like commits murder, you can't charge him with anything. And I was thinking, that sounds like an idea that you're introducing to conveniently be applied when this is done, so that if Trump wins, he can't start prosecuting Obama and Clinton and Biden. That's what I think. That's what I think. Because it was one of these, and that's how social engineering works, by the way. They tell you something that sounds good, that appeals to you, but they're just trying to suck you in to get you to do it, and then that's when they nail you. So, you know, it's just always scheming. It's always a trick, right? When I tell that guy he looks ridiculous with a mask on, he realizes maybe he better change the mask, or maybe that was his plan all along, to have two different disguises.
I don't know why they...
But this has become a pretty well-established format where people just get over here and circle and gather around. Then the cops get in. I mean, it's a pretty standard. You can just you see the cliques that are developing here. The dishonest news reporters. What do people think about? We should check that photo and see if it was David Delgado who took the picture of Jeffrey Epstein on the gurney. Pretty common name, but the roots are there, Danielle says. NY Post, Jeffrey Epstein, dead. If it was him, that's really going to be something.
I'll read up on that stuff tonight when I get back.
3 years later, dead in apparent suicide, August 10th, 2019. So here's Epstein. Where's the picture of him on the gurney? That's not it. Key takeaways, Ghislaine Maxwell. Jeffrey Epstein suicide, new details, apparent suicide, last words before jailhouse death. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if it was him. Okay, here we go. New York Post. Visit.
Okay. So,
View gallery. This doesn't have a credit on the photo here. Well, I don't know. Is it David Delgado who took that picture of Jeffrey Epstein dead on the gurney? How can we find out? View gallery, it says, but it won't let me view it. Is that because I'm on the phone? I think it was him. There's another mysterious guy hanging around that Jeffrey Epstein dying scene, where you've got, yeah, here we go. So this guy's wearing a backpack. Sun Sentinel, Jeffrey Epstein. So it's Theodore Parasnell from the Daily News who's got that credit. But I would bet $1 that he knows our buddy David over there, because he seems to know all the photographers. So whether it's him personally or somebody who he's assigning, like what did he mean when he told me nobody was there because everybody was already on assignment? I mean, is he just the most popular guy there is, or is he the guy giving out the photo assignments and that's why all the photographers want to hang out and talk to him? I don't know. But I can tell you, when I had a 3-story townhouse and was working on Spider-Man and making all kinds of money, a lot of people hung around like that. I don't really see those people so much anymore. And I mean, for real, you could say, oh, Jason, you're here all day too. But this guy has nothing to do but walk around in the sun, banging that bell. I mean, isn't he gonna get annoyed? He has ears. Someone's compelling that guy to do that. Good audio, spinning wheel of doom. But we're back now, right, on Odyssey? Oh no. Yeah, there it is. How's it going? Well, maybe people are getting off work now. No, it's only 10 to 3. Yeah, this is definite waiting mode here. Do we have any indication of what's happening inside the court? Let's check with, says another one, agitator. Why would that guy even come here? He doesn't strike me as somebody who would be interested in this in the least. Andrew Giuliani says, live 10 minutes ago with Paul outside. He had a video there probably on Newsmax. Nothing from back inside yet. From Andrew. Yeah. So people are looking at on Twitter the Weissman video. Wow, now look at that. There's like a very small one dot of signal over here. It's interesting. Maybe it's just that more people are coming and using 5G over here. It's probably overloading this cell area. Go for a little walk. Let's see, did I finish what I was saying about Peter Smith? Maybe not. Peter Smith, he's dead. It does seem like it was a suicide because we found out about that whole, you know, preventing the carbon dioxide buildup, so that's definitely a reason. It looks like they've got a different style of police officer here today, like if they're actually expecting something to happen. Those 7-foot-tall bruiser-looking dudes seem way more equipped to handle a problem like that than some of the people. See, there's a much stronger signal right here. So what is that? I mean, we do have a huge number of satellite trucks right there that could obviously be causing. Crowdsource the truth. How you doing?
Crowdsource the truth.
Jason, how are you?
Ed, I've seen you a few times.
Good to see you.
How
Thanks.
you doing?
Thanks for saying hello. I'm well. What do you think about all this?
Well, I'm just doing my job of covering its.
Oh, you're with the news.
I'm shooting for one of the networks. It's interesting. We'll see what happens. I ask everyone what they think is going to happen. No one really knows because the variable is the mind
jury
of the jurors
and the judge. They've cheated so much. Did you see this video that I did where I got Norm Eisen coming out of the court?
I saw a bit of that. Yes.
Watch it again.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it was like I don't know. It was an out-of-body experience for me, but it's so funny how I curse at him. And the thing that's really good about it, the cursing is entertaining, but I consolidate in 60 seconds exactly what is going on.
Yeah.
Costello explained it. Michael Cohen came up with this idea to pay the hooker all on his own. Trump never knew. No witness has connected Trump to the ledger entry. And Weisselberg, the accountant, is in jail. So here's a very good point that lawyers brought up. I didn't bring this up. Because Weisselberg is in jail, if the defense had called him as a witness, he could just say, hey, I'm taking the fifth. But if the prosecution had called him as a witness, they would have given him immunity. And the fact that they didn't do that, the judge should be instructing the jury, the prosecution doesn't want you to speak to that witness. You need to presume he has evidence that will harm their
You're
case.
thinking about this a couple levels higher than everyone else, I think. It's hard. Like, your videos I got to play a couple times to follow all the details you're getting into.
Thank you.
Plus the way you do it with such ferocity. When he tracked down this ice, that's the first time I hadn't seen you since Taibbi's event.
Oh,
and I'm
yeah,
walking down to get a cup
right.
of coffee, and he's like, after this guy with the kind of intensity, it's like Mike Wallace on steroids.
Thanks for stopping to say
Great
hello.
to see you again. And
Good
what
to
is
see
this? I meant to ask. Oh, that's your live streaming your feed?
Well, normally I don't have this, but
That's amazing.
for a complicated reason having to do with AT&T, I needed this third phone today, so it's just sort of, it's a mobile hotspot.
So that's the hotspot. And what's this? This is an incredible.
So this is a
the
switcher.
most advanced technology I've seen here.
This is a switcher that allows me to control, and then, so the other thing I could do is I could also make this an input, where
Right.
I could be on Twitter here and have another screen here,
You're
and
like a walking TV station.
like a one-man TV studio.
You're a TV studio.
One-man TV studio.
But
Remember
so-
in Back to the Future where he said, portable television studio. No wonder the president is an actor.
wait a minute.
Let them, don't interrupt when people are speaking.
Wait.
That's all right.
You're the digital Ugly George.
Exactly. But
There
I'm
you
too
go.
good looking to be Ugly George.
He's
No,
too
wait,
good looking
wait.
and he's focused on other things.
Hey,
Exactly. He was
Can we
porno,
get you-
right?
can we
Yeah,
get
he
you
was
in-
like getting girls to take off their tops.
Can we get you in the alleyway with,
No, not my speed, but
because it's right over there, it's not far.
So how many inputs do you have here? Like, what is this?
well, this is a transition. So if I wanted to have today's thumbnail up there, okay, so here, let me show you. So sometimes when I'm walking around, I want to do graphics, right? So we could
This is
say,
incredible.
the other day, I've been exposing that General Flynn is a liar. So they've been spoofing my Twitter account. And the way they did that was they took what appears to be a blank Twitter account and they changed the name. So this is a pre-recorded video that I've got on one of the inputs, and
Right.
we're on this inset now. And what these guys did is they took an account from March 2014, 2 years before I ever created Crowdsource the Truth. They changed the name, and they've been contacting they've been contacting my viewers to I don't know, to mess with me somehow or whatever.
To make a false presentation to
Yeah.
get people to distrust you.
Right.
Like it's a false flag operation.
Exactly, and that's what's going on in the park.
What do you mean? A lot of the people
All
milling
these
around?
people in the crazy costumes are there so that the news gets a picture and says, oh, you see, Trump supporters are crazy.
Right.
They're running around in face makeup and yelling at each other. And
It
this
only takes a
bomb.
handful of people to pay off to create a bizarre spectacle.
And when I say that to them, they get incredibly pissed off and they try to beat me up and the cops come over right
You
away.
don't think this happened by chance that these people threw these costumes on just, coming up
Some
with an
do,
idea?
perhaps.
Well, wait a minute. You guys have been here the whole time. The first day they said, okay, the north side of the park is for Trump protesting and the south side of the park is for Trump supporters. But then I came here the other day and there was like 20 people with the black shirts and Trump lies and whatever. And I just went and got the cops and said, can you ask them to leave? They're disrupting. And the cops said no. So what are you talking about? You guys set up this, like why won't you ask them to leave? And then when I was in the north side, they started screaming at me, get out of here, you're for Trump. And they threw me out right away.
So they're trying to create confrontation in one direction?
No, it's just that they want to, the cops appear to be controlling the protest and the counter-protest so that they control whatever outcome they want. They want Trump people getting beaten up, they want cops getting beaten up, they want cops saving the day, and then they give out, not you guys are working for ABC, you guys get this from ABC, but somebody like me applies for a, used to be NYPD press
Yes.
pass, they would never give it to me. Now it's City of New York, they still won't give it to me. because they're controlling access to that courtroom because they know anything valuable. This is a license to use the First Amendment, just like you need a license to use the Second Amendment in this city, and it's crooked as hell. So all these independent reporters who are sort of like me, but have those press passes like you guys, somehow the cops give those guys great access to the melees, and they're getting hero shots of the cops getting the right person arrested. Me getting in there, showing them smoking, texting,
And it's because you don't have the pass, or they know you personally, you think?
I think I don't have the pass because I'm a guy who, if somebody says to me, hey, listen, don't show our cops not doing law enforcement, we'll give you a press pass and you can come and photograph the fights, I say, fuck you. You guys aren't doing the job. That's news.
Right. Right. So your mic is going into what?
The mic
is going into this?
I got a mixer in my pocket here.
Jesus Christ, do you believe
Let me
this?
see your mixer. How big is it?
Hey, man, that's a little personal.
No, but how many?
So this is the
6
wireless.
input.
That's the wireless
That's
mic.
a
Yeah, I got the
6.3
wireless
mixer.
mic going into the 6-input
Where'd you
mixer.
get that? That
This
goes
is
right into your,
teenage engineering. So then that thing also is a digitizer. So it's 24-bit digitizing the Sennheiser, just a regular G4.
recording everything.
That could, but it's not. It's just going digital into this. So the switcher also records the audio and normally is also the hotspot, but because of so much broadcasting and the way AT&T works, I needed this third one. It complicates the whole thing.
Verizon's a good signal here.
But not around the country, and also the way the prepaid data accounts work, AT&T is the only one I can use.
Look at that audio. Yeah, I can see you.
Pretty good, right?
Very impressive on multiple levels.
Thank you.
Mostly like your energy. What do you have for breakfast? The way you tracked down Norm the other day.
Yeah.
I want that energy.
I tell
How
you,
do you do it?
I-
So you
my-
just look good
Yes,
constitution?
My
It's called
second
passion.
wife didn't drink, and so and we're divorced now, but I just stuck with it. And maybe for I probably have had like a dozen drinks in the past 15 years.
You want to laugh? I haven't had a drink in 30 years. You could do a show on me. There you go.
But don't you feel much better?
Much better? Let's just put it this way. I discovered things about my soul that I didn't know.
Your brain works better, your body
It's
feels
not
better.
even
like
just
lifting
the
a veil.
brain. It's your emotional existence.
I agree.
And if you don't have that, you
Got nothing. I agree.
got nothing.
Gentlemen, thank you for
luck.
stopping and saying
I'll
hello.
tune in.
Good to see you
We'll
again.
leave with that.
Crowdsource the truth. Look it up. Thanks, fellas.
That's the truth.
So there you go. Those are professional guys. See, I'm always cracking on the grips and all that kind of thing, but there also were a lot of really great people when I was working in the film industry, and those two guys definitely seem like two of the great ones. That was nice of them to come over and be complimentary. Notice they didn't insult me and say, they're the real news, we can't talk to you. They're obviously intrigued. Those guys are driving around a giant satellite truck, and they got to be thinking to themselves, is Jason 75% of the way there, 80% of the way there? That guy was carrying a little tiny baby. This is family court. I guess he's going in there. But, I mean, the point of the matter is, we got an HD broadcast going out right now from here to anywhere in the world. And that's the same exact thing all those crews of guys are doing with all of those gigantic trucks. And I'm sure there's a lot about that that's better and more robust and all kinds of things. But like I said, am I 50% of the way there, 75% of the way there? And I would also presume, like me, those guys are in the technology end of broadcasting and maybe entertainment. They're going to be intrigued by these developments, and also for the sake of their own jobs. You got to stay aware of how the technology is evolving. You don't want to sit around while something might be becoming obsolete and not be aware. See, now wait a minute, that guy is still there talking to the cops. So the question becomes, how many of these people are working for the cops as plainclothes whatever, who are sent here to say, go over there and tell that guy he's a racist and start a fight, and then we can, arrest him and crack his skull and tell him he's a racist. Anything like that could be going on. So much weird stuff going on around here. What you guys got?
I want to take a look at this. I do want to take
What is Storm the Capitol insurrection box?
But I do. Is there any way that we can like look? Can I open it? So that yeah.
Can I just ask you guys what you're doing with this stuff?
Yeah. Sorry?
What is all this?
This is a board game.
Uh-huh.
I did something with mugshots.
Making fun of January 6th.
Uh-huh. And what are you doing? You're selling them, giving them out?
Yeah, this is kind of, we've been unable to advertise on most social media sites, so we're just kind of here.
Basically,
Do you have Ray Epps in this game?
you ever see
No.
Do you have John Earl Sullivan in this game?
I kept thinking about how I haven't seen it actually.
Do you have all the people who were Antifa who disguised themselves as Trump supporters in this game?
Played by De Niro. That's
You do? I don't think so. I think you might
Jokes about it.
What's the purpose of that?
be Antifa.
It was,
To laugh.
everybody thought
It's a fun game.
bring it in, nobody could bring it in. He was actually one of the
I thought it was as bad as 9/11. Are you going to make a 9/11 game to laugh at?
I don't think it was anywhere near as bad as 9/11.
I agree.
It got out with syphilis and died.
I was at 9/11.
So it's like, no way it's supposed to
So was I.
Well, shows,
It was kind of scary knowing people were attacking our Capitol. I didn't like that.
Sure.
I wanted to be safe.
I'm not promoting that.
Yeah.
no, there isn't. The other thing I posted this yesterday.
Well,
a lot of people
9/11 was very scary.
That's why you got it. I said that. He says only I can prevent it.
Vaping. Definitely not supposed to be vaping on duty, police officer. It's definitely a heavier police presence here today than previous days. What do we hear from the inside the courtroom? Nothing new coming out of the court there. So right by the cops, this guy's just riding a bicycle all around pedestrians. They can't even stop with the coffee to say anything to the guy. Unbelievable. So, I mean, who is hanging out talking to cops for that long if they aren't a cop themselves or told to be standing here with the cops? Now, wait a minute. That guy was agitating in the park earlier as well. What was happening earlier? Everybody was yelling at you.
Apparently I was on the wrong side.
You're protesting Trump?
I wouldn't say I was protesting him. I was just walking around with a sign that listed the charities he stole from. Because I find that to be one of his most egregious things that he's done. I mean, stealing money from St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital.
Did he do that? What evidence supports that?
Well, his son, Eric, set up a charitable golf event at the Westchester Club every year, and he would have, a bunch of family members and C-list celebrities come and play golf, and all the money went to St. Jude's. And when Donald found out that his son, who's clearly more generous than him, was comping the club for the day to the whole proceedings, he was irate, and he insisted that some of the funds that would have gone to the charity be siphoned off to pay.
Well, that's not exactly correct terminology. That honestly is the way charities normally work. If you rent a venue, siphoned off, redirected, he's just saying that he wasn't willing to give an in-kind contribution to the charity in the way that it was set up. Sounds like you might be misrepresenting some of the evidence.
Well, I wouldn't say it's misrepresenting the
You just
evidence.
said he siphoned it. I'd like to see the paperwork on that, because it sounds like he's just saying he wants to be compensated for his thing that's being used for the charity, and then the money beyond the compensation
It's pretty small, isn't that?
will go to the charity. Well, I don't know. I'd have to know more about the details. When I look at what the Clinton Foundation has done, that thing has stolen billions of dollars selling tainted drugs in Africa that have killed people. It's not as bad as wanting to get a rental for your facility.
What has that got to do with this?
It's not ancient news. It's still going on right now. I also look at the Brookings Institution and the Lawfare Foundation. Did you know that the Lawfare Institute paid $300,000 to Vindman to lie? That's stealing your money because it's tax exempt.
Where's your evidence of that?
It's on their 990 filed in 2021 and 2022. You can go to the IRS and look it up. And I called Vindman and I said, where's the evidence that you've worked at this thing for 40 hours? And he said, oh, it's in a press release. And I said, yeah, the press release says you got hired, but there's no evidence that you've worked there for 40 hours.
Okay, and so
I think that
does
he's
any
being
of this
paid
have
to
to
do
do with
nothing.
Donald
Well,
Trump
because what
stealing
you've
from
just
charities?
described is not necessarily theft. If he said, hey, Eric, you offered something that the organization is not prepared to give, and we're going to rearrange this deal so that the rental of the club is paid for out of all this money that gets received, and then the money that is in excess of paying the expenses of running this event will go to the charity.
pretty small
It's
for a
actually a
billionaire, right?
reasonable way to run the thing, because
his
charities
son had been running it
work
as
in a certain way, and it sounds to me like you don't have a good handle on all the facts and details. You've decided what you want it to be, and you're going around spreading a story that's maybe not completely
Okay, so
correct.
let's forget about that. How about the other ones that he paid?
Which other ones?
Let's see. The Army Emergency Relief Fund, Martha's Table, Given Hour.
What did he do to each of these things?
City Meals on Wheels, United Way.
I guarantee.
Children's Aid.
I guarantee if we went and looked up the 990s for each of these things, they're probably almost all not properly organized. You would be shocked if you started looking through nonprofit organizations and how poorly run they are, how many of them are improperly using the funds.
Donald J.
paying people way
Trump
too
pays
much.
court-ordered $2 million for illegally using Trump Foundation funds. It's right there,
For what?
2019.
For what though?
For what?
From Letitia James. So that's definitely no way that that's skewed in the way that this is.
This
but
is the New York
tell me
State
what it
Attorney
is that he was
General's
charged with.
office.
Oh yeah, and she's always completely unbiased, never making up falsehoods. Why didn't she prosecute?
What falsehoods has she made up?
What falsehoods has she made up?
Yeah,
She
give me-
ran
let-
on
let
the
me hear
premise
one.
of prosecuting Donald Trump and investigated him until she found stuff she could charge him for. And I don't know the details of this case.
Okay, so
What is it that he's
I'm not
charged
going to
with
get
here?
into the weeds with you.
You don't want to get into the facts and details.
Oh,
you just
want
want
me to
read
get
the
into the
conclusion.
facts and details? I'll
Well, I
read
mean,
it
it
to
seems
you.
like so far everything you've told
No,
me
everything
about.
I say to you, even if I show you a release from the Attorney
But that's
General's
something
office,
different than what you're talking about
You just
over
say
here.
it's
What
not
did he
true.
use the money
It's not-
for?
Oh, but why would I
What
read
did
it to
he
you?
use the money
Why would I
for?
read it to you?
Because you're an unhinged lunatic who's
I'm an
trying
unhinged
to
lunatic.
convince me of something.
You are
that
taking
you
everything
don't
that
know
I'm
about.
saying and you're taking facts and you're saying they don't exist.
That is a
I'm
press
unhinged.
release. You haven't shown me the
This
facts.
is not a
What-
press release.
It's not? What is it?
It's the Attorney
It's
General's
Attorney General's
office.
press release on her office website. It's a press release. It's not an indictment. It's not
There's no point in talking
a
to
court
you.
order.
You're just
because
gonna
I'm
say-
asking you to
you're just
present
gonna
facts
say
and
that
you're
any
showing
fact
me
that I present
press
is not a
release.
fact.
What was he charged with there? What was the money used for illegally?
Here, you want to read it?
Well, tell me. You're the expert
No,
in
I'm
these
not going to
facts.
spend time reading to
All right,
someone
have a
who's
nice
just
day.
going to say that what I'm saying is nonsense.
I'm asking
What's
you
the
to
point?
present me with the facts,
Look,
and you're unable
if
to
you
do
want-
it.
if
You
you-
don't know a fact from a press release. You don't know the first thing you're telling me about.
Okay,
and
here, you want to hear a fact?
Nah, I think I'm done
I
listening
think
to
you are done because I'm about to read you a fact and you
Let's
don't want to
hear
hear
it. Let's hear it.
Okay.
Press
Here it
release.
is. New York Attorney General Letitia James today released the following statement after Donald
At a
J.
press
J.
conference.
Trump was forced to pay more than $2 million in court-ordered damages to 8 different charities for illegally misusing charitable funds at the Trump Foundation for political purposes.
But that's not anything that you were just saying.
What are you talking about?
You're talking about St. Jude's. This is talking about the Trump Foundation.
St. Jude's is the 9th case. This is 8 charities that are listed right there that he had to pay $250,000 to each of them in a settlement.
So
which
you're
he-
also
he
still not
settled out of
focusing on
court.
evidence and facts. That's a conclusion from the court. What I'm saying is there's a
Okay.
lot of times
So
that
there's
courts
so he-
make
so
crooked
he just-
decisions.
He just paid $1 million because he was feeling charitable?
No, because the court forced him to. But what I'm saying is there's a lot of situations where crooked judges, crooked lawyers, they get bad outcomes in court.
Sure
Have you
they do.
ever been in court?
That's what you're relying upon.
That's my personal experience. Have
Not
you
only
ever
has
been
the
in
Trump
court?
Foundation shut down for its misconduct,
Have you ever been in
but
court?
the president has been forced to pay $2 million for misusing charitable funds for his own political
Okay, you understand
gain.
that that's a press release and not evidence. If we want to go to the court case, look at the evidence presented, I would guarantee that this is as crooked as what's going on inside there. So I don't really
that's
want to talk
crooked.
to you
How's
anymore,
that
and we should
crooked?
end the
How is that
conversation.
crooked?
How
Tell
is
me
it
how it's
crooked? Okay, so the judge just gave out jury instructions that said you don't need to be unanimous on this underlying crime. Okay, this is a state court here, and they're trying to charge him with manipulating a federal election. This court does not have
That's not
jurisdiction.
what they're trying him for. You
over
don't even know
federal
what they're
election.
trying him for.
Yes, they are. They're
This is
saying
an
that
FBR
this
case.
ledger
This
entry. What
is
is
a
it?
fraudulent business records case.
Right, and they're saying that he falsified that record
he
to
falsified
affect
business records.
the election, but he didn't. No witness has connected him to that business record.
He
It's
signed all the
Alan
checks.
Weisselberg.
He signed
Right,
all
but
the
he
checks.
signs 1 million checks. He doesn't know what they're
And
for.
the checks were based on what number?
The check is not the ledger entry. You keep changing what you're saying. So I'm done talking to you because you're a moron. Have a nice day. Correct. Just stop fucking approaching me, asshole. Back up.
A criminal.
Cops,
a
look at
liar.
this guy.
You support a
Stop
liar.
following me around, you
You've
fucking
been following me
psychopath.
around for 10
Police,
minutes.
officers.
Yeah.
Excuse me, officers.
You're
Do you
an
see this
asshole.
guy? He's following me around. I'm retreating. I'm getting followed by this fucking lunatic right here. He injects himself.
Have you even seen me? You said I'm following you.
He just came up in the middle of the thing and started coming at me.
Look how we video.
We're in public. This is a newsworthy event.
You're a moron, dude.
Have a nice day, stupid.
Don't do it right now.
Thank you.
Do it right now. Don't tell me.
Dude, get out of here, stupid. These guys are so triggered and dumb, it's crazy. That guy, he's like, oh, this press release is a fact. How is this crooked? I mean, this is an unhinged lunatic. Completely out of his mind. Jesus. So what's happening, Andrew Giuliani? Any news from inside the court? Are we any closer to a verdict? Nothing. I'm getting so... Let's see, that hot dog vendor is going to have water. Well, anyway, there's going to be a swarm of unhinged lunatics trying to get me. What is with these people? Hi, can I get a water? How much? Thanks. Okay, have a nice day. Thank you. So now the problem is, gotta drink enough water to not be thirsty, but not so much that I don't have to use the bathroom. Now that girl just took a picture of me walking by. There's no way she's interested in me. And plus now, Got a giant water bottle in my hand. It's a little inconvenient, but we'll deal with it. So let's see. Wow, a lot of people watching right now. Looks like 1,637 people watching on X. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to become a sponsor of the show. I don't really see anybody else walking around like this, questioning all these NYPD intelligence people. And then you say, oh, Jason runs to the cops. I'm not running to the cops, but I'm also not going to get into a fight with these people. They're here to prevent these fights. And the cops are going to come over anyway if I try to fight the dude. As I explained to them, I'm aware that New York is a castle doctrine state. The law requires me to retreat. When I take a step back and those guys advance towards me, that's menacing. And frankly, it even gives me a civil cause of action for assault. They're making me feel like I'm an imminent threat of bodily harm.
See, Claudia, my social worker.
I don't know, did that guy look like a trouble-causing Antifa operative to anybody?
Like 4 families supposed to go together.
He can't open that can of worms right now.
So it sure looks like the press audience is growing. A lot of people here ready to cause chaos probably at a moment's notice if something goes down. But you know what? That guy might not have been a plant. That guy could be a legitimately unhinged maniac who, you know, when Letitia James decides that somebody's got to pay a fee, there's no way that she's politicized her prosecution of Trump. That was 100% unbiased, no doubt.
We're good. I had lunch earlier.
Ah, now he's back in his costume again. So this guy's switching it up.
Doesn't give 2 shits.
What's that?
Kathy Hochul doesn't give 2 shits. The criminals are running around loose, raping, killing, stealing, and they're persecuting this poor man.
And they're also agitating in the park with maniacs like this in the costume.
Oh, well, I don't know about that, but the criminals are out there right
this
now
guy
murdering
change,
and raping.
Didn't he change
Why
his
aren't
outfit?
they in there being prosecuted? Why aren't they being prosecuted? Oh, because they're poor and they're oppressed and they deserve a fair hearing. So let them go in 2 hours. We hold them for 2 hours with bail reform and then release them. That's Kathy's plan. Fuck us. Who cares if they murder us? Who cares? We're not important. We're not important. We don't count.
I mean, just the very fact that that guy has now changed his outfit twice in a day, does that seem normal to people? It's hotter now than it was before. Why did he put the costume back on? It's weird, right? Why is he allowed to be in public in a mask like that? It used to be illegal. That looks like a Trump supporter.
I'm tired of being bullied by the criminals.
See, it's funny. Sometimes with these people, even just a little thing that I don't know about that he just said, it seems inconsistent with his other earlier opinions that that guy was, you know, bad news. And it just makes me wonder, because he was also always associated with the New York freedom fighters. Did that Delgado stupid guy say something to me? Probably not. I don't think he wants to talk to me. That woman smelled like garlic. Not in a good way. Okay. minute, is that still planned? Oh man, is the Twitter video working? Yeah. Yeah, see, it's weird. I can't get to the chat here on Twitter. Cops are agitators, Starfield Planet says. The Dems want an escalation of outrage at the verdict so they can use it against Trump and his supporters. I agree. The cops and the feds enabled by Democrats are the real criminals. I absolutely agree with that. Elvis Dallas says, thank you for the feed. Really love your posts. Thank you, Elvis Dallas. I appreciate that. Yeah, a lot of Jill Salzman says, amazing work. Thank you, Jill. Thanks to everybody who's following on Twitter, X. Now, what is this? This post caught my attention. Did you know that judges and prosecutors do not have a legitimate oath of office? Well, I didn't know about that. I thought they do have an oath of office. We'll have to read that later. And then people are posting the Revolver News article about Norm Eisen. It's been known for quite a while that Norm is a jackass. But anybody walking around with music like that, like the cops aren't telling them to stop playing that, but then again, you know, the cops don't tell anybody to do anything. That's definitely one entry-level method to deter video recording. See, when the cops say stuff like rewind the tape, they want you to stop recording so that they can beat you up, then turn on their cameras, and then the evidence that gets presented is only their evidence. My personal recommendation is you should never, ever speak to the police without a video camera recording, because they're always trying to lie to you and jam you up because they know that they can do that and you can't do a thing about it. But if you have your camera on while they're lying, you can take it into court and say, this is what actually happened. I'm not sure yet what happens when you do that, because that's just happened to me. In Goodman versus the City of New York, I have sued, obviously the City of New York, the NYPD Lieutenant Ibrahim, Officer Chandler Castro, Officer Jennifer Caruso, and what's that other guy's name? Garcia. They all got sued along with X Corp, Elon Musk, and Adam Sharp. Now, I mentioned Adam Sharp before. Longtime viewers are going to know who he is. Adam Sharp is the president and CEO of the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. And they sued me, essentially, a company I used to own, in 2020. Let's see if we can find Adam Sharp. The reason why he's interesting is that he was there we go. Let's see if we can get this on screen here. Adam Sharp used to be the head of news and politics and elections. Is that Alec Baldwin's brother? We'll look at that in a second. But he used to be a Twitter executive long, long ago. Well, not that long ago, actually. This press release was issued by him on December 28th, 2016. And this says, Adam Sharp left the social media company in December, the latest in a string of executive departures in 2016. Twitter's head of news, government, and elections departs. See that? December 28th, 2016. There is Adam Sharp. Okay? So he goes to be the president of the Emmys. And you might say, well, so what that he leaves 2016, December 28th, 2016. But let's just look at this. Wittes, Comey, McCabe, email. Hey.
He's in the belly of the beast.
Here it is. Oh, this is great. So see that? It is pretty good to have this secondary phone here. So this is super interesting for people who haven't seen this before. This is an email that was sent, coincidentally, also on December 28th, 2016. I am sure that's a coincidence, because otherwise it would be a conspiracy theory. And it's not my conspiracy theory. I had nothing to do with this. I didn't find this email until around 2023. But let's go down to where this thing starts. So this is sent, oh, look at that, from Benjamin Wittes. Huh, yeah, he's the director of the Lawfare Institute. He is a Brookings Institution fellow, and he's a lying scumbag who is at the heart of this. And I didn't realize it, but I had started figuring that out about 7 years ago, just when I started pulling on this thread of Peter Smith. So he's sending this to Reinhold Niebuhr, who is, I think, a German communist philosopher from way back in the day, but it's also the secret, or formerly secret, private email address of James Comey. And we can see right there, ic.fbi.gov. So that's going to say, you know, Jimbo or Comey or the FBI Frankenstein at ic.fbi.gov, something like that. But that's Comey's email address. So what happens is he forwards it.
Lock him up! Lock him up! Lock him up! Lock him up! Lock him up!
Comey, Reinhold Niebuhr, forwards it to James Comey, and let's read it, shall we? It says, this is December 28th, same day Adam Sharp publishes his PR Newswire release that he's leaving Twitter. Ben Wittes says to Comey, "Hey there, I'm writing because a very strange document has crossed my desk that may or may not have implications for investigations you guys are conducting. Under normal circumstances, I would simply assume that the document is either a fraud or that you guys already know about it. Both may well be true as it is. The wrinkle here is that the document, which purports to be a series of reports/dispatches by a private British intel company on Trump and Russia and the hacking, and contains a number of highly detailed accounts, stuff that would be explosive if alleged publicly, is being furiously investigated by, at a minimum, the Wall Street Journal. The document was given to me by Shane Harris. What's more, it seems to already be in the hands of the SSCI, the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence. I wouldn't be surprised if it's also in the hands, I wouldn't be surprised if it's also in the hands of other congressional committees. I want to stress that I have no idea if it is authentic, much less accurate, but I thought I would alert you in case for some reason it hasn't made its way to your people long ago. I'm happy to put you in touch with Shane if you're interested in hearing his account of what it is, or I can just forward a copy to you. I hope you're doing well. It was great seeing you a couple of weeks ago." So, I mean, that's a pretty interesting email from Ben Wittes to his personal friend, James Comey. How many people have that Reinhold Niebuhr personal email address of James Comey? Did that guy just secretly record me walking by? I think he did. But anyway, that was sent. And you might say, well, so what? That has nothing to do with it. But, you know, Comey forwards that to Andrew McCabe, and, you know, they're sending it around to all the usual suspects. But see, here's what's important. So the Christopher Steele piss dossier that everybody has spoken about extensively that thing was making its rounds and doing its business from about July until about November. Because you see, after Trump became president, the FBI investigation, it was no longer a threat to him getting elected because he was elected. Now what they needed to do was they needed to get him impeached and removed. They don't want him to be president. That's what it is. So they started working on that. Now, do I have all this stuff in the phone? Maybe not. Let's just see. Maybe I have it on Twitter. So remember, Benjamin Wittes, I spoke to him over there last week. He's the director of the Lawfare Institute. And one of the things that the Lawfare Institute did, maybe I have it in here, as I was explaining to that dope, is they had paid Alexander Vindman. Where is Vindman? There he is. So the Lawfare Institute, that's a nonprofit. They got a huge amount of money running through there, and this is their IRS 990, ProPublica. Everybody knows about that. I don't even know what that is. It's a news agency or some kind of, I don't know. They have all this nonprofit information, but this is the IRS 990. It's a screen capture of it from the Lawfare Institute. I believe this is from 2021. So here's Vindman. It says Alexander Vindman. He's the Pritzker military fellow. And this says that he's been working there 40 hours a week, and he's paid $157,154 his regular salary, another $14,144 as some kind of, like, I don't know, maybe that's his Christmas bonus. But they're paying Vindman, and that's just 2021. They paid him in 22. I don't know, is he still working there? Maybe they're paying him right now. And like I said, when I asked him, where is the evidence that you've worked there? It's not like he can point to the Alexander Vindman show where he's doing a podcast for them every day, and it's loaded up with lots of information like the type of stuff we're talking about right now, where it would be obvious that he's spending most of his time every day working on that, like me. This is why I encourage people to visit odyssey.com/@crowdsourcethetruth and to become a sponsor. By the way, it seems like almost nobody has done that during this broadcast. So I will ask directly, if you're enjoying this, if you like this type of on-the-ground investigation, whether it's the cops, maniacs from Staten Island, the Lawfare Institute, whoever it might be. Oh, this phone might be overheating. I better cool it out. Oh no. Huh. Is Odyssey under DDoS attack? I can't get to it. There it is. Oh, there it is. Weird. I do believe that they hate Odyssey. I know that because George's brother has tried to sue it. Thanks to everybody who's watching on Odyssey. I really appreciate you guys. And it's important that we keep Odyssey going. So, yeah, it's going. There it is. Everybody's still live chatting on there. Open live chat. 90% of the Trump Foundation's money was from the Trump family. Yeah, the guy is a useful idiot of the communists. Well, exactly. He's looking at a ruling. He's looking at a press release about a court ruling. He's not even reading the order, and he's claiming that that's evidence. Well, not really. I mean, it's evidence that they put out a press release, but it doesn't tell us any of the facts of the case. And I mean, the fact that he's like, oh, you think this is crooked? That's outrageous. But if you're enjoying this broadcast, please go to odyssey.com/@crowdsourcethetruth and become a sponsor. It's only $3 a month, and there's lots of great sponsor exclusive content on there. But so let's keep talking about Peter Smith. Where am I going to have more information about him? So Yeah, he was very important in the Russiagate thing, even though he died. So that was Gop. Shane Harris. So Shane Harris, he's a journalist, I guess, for the Wall Street Journal. So that guy's smartly walking away. He was walking right towards me, and then he made a sharp right-hand turn to avoid me because he knows he's going to be asked questions that he doesn't have good answers to, and he knows he's busted. He knows he's busted. Okay, so here we go. More Peter Smith info. This is good. So, Shane Harris released an article. Let's look at this here. See, that's a guy who walked by with a cigarette in his mouth smiling at me because I said something to them about smoking in the park. Oh, people couldn't see that guy. Anyway, GOP operatives sought Clinton emails from hackers implied a connection to Flynn. So Peter W. Smith portrayed the former general as an ally in an effort independent of the Trump campaign to find personal emails deleted by Hillary Clinton. What's going on? Do we have a medical something happening? Ambulances in front of the court. Let's see what's going on. Fire truck? Isn't it weird that none of the news people run to that? Only fights with paid agitators. We've got fire trucks and ambulances in front of the court, and no one is interested in that?
No,
only for education.
Because so many people
Only for education.
Does anybody else find that weird? Is that Trey Gowdy over there? I think he was here yesterday. So we got 2 fire trucks and an ambulance just pulled up, and I'm the only one who runs over, and that guy's real news. It's interesting.
The guy with the fact allergy.
Yeah, right. You don't know a fact from a press release, stupid.
Mainland China flag.
Isn't that weird? That the ambulances pull up and none of the real news people care. Strange. So strange. They just want fight footage. Whoops. Oh, this just turned off. Hang on, let's get that reconnected. Getting tangled up in my own wires here. Gotta get this thing back on here. So Shane Harris writes this whole article here for the Wall Street Journal. And let's read this again, knowing what we know now, because it's very carefully written, almost as if by a lawyer. Because obviously the Wall Street Journal, they don't want to get sued. They have a lot of money, and that is the type of thing somebody like Donald Trump would sue if they said something untrue about him. And even if it wasn't going to be Donald Trump, anybody could sue them. So they're going to be, and they have lawyers and editors who are going to make sure that what you're saying isn't stupid and fake, or at least their opinion of what is stupid and fake before they put it out. So GOP operatives saw Clinton emails. Peter W. Smith portrayed the former general as an ally in an effort independent of the Trump campaign to find personal emails deleted by Hillary Clinton. So this is June 29th, 2017. This is the day before I meet Charles. And so there's Flynn, retired General Michael Flynn at the White House. And this is before he was kicked out, right? When did Flynn get kicked out? So they're working on that. But remember, that's part of their plan to nail Trump, is, make it look like, oh, Flynn is getting kicked out, his team is falling apart, this is a disaster. But this is what these guys always want to do. They want to make it look like Trump is stupid, everybody around him is stupid, his supporters are stupid, they're all maniacs here in the park. But this is shortly before his dismissal. Oh, so I guess he was already gone by now. When did they kick him out? I don't even remember. It was the beginning, right? It was like February. All right, so this is already happening. It's June. So he's getting prosecuted or whatever. Before the 2016 presidential election, a longtime Republican opposition researcher mounted an independent campaign.
What? DSK's lawyer, Braffman's here.
I don't know.
Oh, don't do.
Erica. What's up?
Who's here? Case lawyer Raffin is here? Why? I don't understand. Why everybody's going there? Well, I don't know. We'll see that on the other news. I don't know whose lawyer could be here. Unless it's Costello, but he's already testified. What lawyer could be coming here now? The jury is deliberating. It's just some celebrity lawyer. Well, maybe this is a good opportunity for me to sit. All these people have left. My back pockets are loaded with stuff that make it pretty uncomfortable, but let's see. I'm gonna take these batteries out and keep talking about this, because there's something quite interesting going on. No, it's gonna be a problem. All right, well, we're sitting on batteries now. Not very comfortable. So, before the election, this longtime Republican opposition researcher mounted an independent campaign to obtain emails he believed were stolen from Hillary Clinton's private server, likely by Russian hackers. Oh, I guess, yeah, you gotta be signed in. So, all right. This is worth reading again, because they say things like likely, everything that they're saying is going to be worded just so that they can't be sued for that, because they don't know, it's allegations, and that's good. But it also allows them to essentially write whatever they want, because they're not saying this definitely happened, they're just saying it's likely, allegedly, presumably, possibly, it was implied. So the other day, in response to those questions about where all the stolen money went, Flynn says he has no idea who Peter Smith is, which is interesting because there's a lot of articles written in the Wall Street Journal and the Washington Post about him and Peter Smith. I'm surprised he doesn't know who he is. In fact, I think he's lying. I think he knows exactly who Peter Smith is, and I think he was in on this plan from the beginning. And there was some, complicated arrangement where they knew they were going to write this article.
Yeah, I want to do another show.
And they yeah, see, all these actors know each other. So it's interesting. This is a new development that wasn't there at first, but they've got this kind of central area special for this news setup. I don't know who that is, but how do you get that? Do you pay the cops and they give you some special deal? Very curious.
The guy fans.
Yes,
they come in here, we allow it. That's bullshit, we allow.
So she's upset that the anti-Trump people come to this side. She wants to go there. This is what I'm saying to the police, is that when you start to allow this, it's going to go crazy. And if the police were interested in having it not go crazy, I think they wouldn't do this.
He might get out early.
I think they said that they're extending it to 6. Well, I mean,
How you doing? All the undercover people know me now.
That's right. I dress like I'm a teenager. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna stay like that.
Activist guy, how you doing?
Why don't you fuck off?
Let me ask you a question.
I prefer it if you fuck off.
Do you support a traitor?
You're an idiot. Why don't you walk
Do you
away?
support a traitor? Would you support a traitor?
You're a fucking jackass.
Just answer the
You
question.
know, and that's why I didn't vote for Joe Biden. Why don't you fuck off?
let
I'm
me ask
done
you a
talking to
question.
you, stupid. Stop approaching me. Listen, I'm telling you to back off.
Oh, look at him. Look at him. Theater.
We're going to see Trump.
Stupid ass. Pick the wrong guy to mess with, stupid.
Email or text?
That's what I'm saying. Stay here, stay here. No more different, okay? Just go outside, okay? Go to courthouse. Courthouse, behind the courthouse, okay? Tell me come down.
Disruptors.
that's the same thing. You're going to have people from Jersey or
That guy could get mistaken for Anthony Fauci if he's not careful.
Indictment was so down and we had to come up here, say, okay, I understand the charges against me, plead not guilty.
See, but again, the guy with the mask and the MAGA hat, that's very incongruent. That doesn't seem real. What does the sign say? What's the sign say? So why are you wearing a MAGA hat if you're against Trump? And you're
I'm for Trump. I want the judge to
free.
set him free.
But
This
you
is
say
a
God
kangaroo
strike
court.
Trump dead.
Also, I got a hat on.
But
'cause I
what's the
voted for him
God
in
strike
2020.
Trump dead part?
Yeah, no, he had such a great 2017, great 2018, great 2019, 2020. He deserves to be brought
But what does the God
by
strike
God
Trump dead?
to sit in his right-hand side in heaven. That's what he deserves.
But why do you have a sign that says strike Trump
'Cause I
dead?
want-
And you have
I
a
want
mask
Trump-
on, which means you're obviously not a Trump supporter, and
he's
you're
from a mental
here
asylum.
on the pro-Trump side
Do you think
pulling
make
some
America
bullshit.
great is make Trump great?
I
or-
think you're an idiot is what I think, and I think
Well,
I've
you'd
seen
be
you
surprised.
disrupting on this
You'd be
side
surprised.
before. I would not be surprised. You've basically demonstrated here in the 5 seconds I've been talking to you. Why don't you go to the other
God to
side?
strike Trump
Why don't you
dead.
go
I
to the
want
other
judge
side?
to free him. And
Why
those
don't
are
you
all
go to the other?
English
Take off
words
the mask
in
or go to
Proverbs.
the other side, you fucking unhinged retard.
Hey, come closer and say that.
Are
Come
you
closer.
threatening me?
Yeah.
Take the mask off and
No.
get out of here.
No.
I'm not going to do
No.
anything like that. Take the mask off, get out of here. Get lost. You're not supposed to be on this side. And just the fact
Standing
that
right
you
here.
are here,
See,
you're
that's
disrupting.
standing right here.
What we're going to do is we're going to get the
Don't go to your
cops.
fucking mama, you idiot.
We're going to get the cops. Excuse me, officer. I'm trying to avoid conflicts and disruptions. We've got a guy over here who's supposed to be on that side. Could you join me and please politely ask him to go to that side?
Sorry if I was a dick to you.
Thank you.
Checking things out.
So this guy's holding a sign that says God strike Trump dead. And this is the side for Trump supporters. It's First Amendment to have that, but he should do it on the other
It says,
side
yeah.
to maintain order.
Yeah. This is a pro-Trump sign.
No, it is not.
Yeah,
It's not. It says strike him.
He's got a mask on and he wants Trump dead.
Yeah.
First of all, you should call the Secret Service
He's wishing the man
and get him hauled out of here.
like
Second of all, he's creating problems. He's making threats. He's making threats. He's causing problems. He needs to exercise his First Amendment on the other side if we want to prevent fights. That's all I'm saying. I've asked him politely to go to the other side. He's refused.
So who is he?
He is a disruptor wearing a Trump hat to disguise himself to make people think that he's pro-Trump so he can come over here with his God strike dead Trump sign and create a disruption and cause some kind of fight. So I support the police's decision to use the north side of the park to protest Trump and the south side of the park to support Trump. But it's important if the police want to maintain order to enforce that and compel this stupid asshole to go to the other side. Because I've been thrown out of the other side for supporting Trump. He should be thrown out of this side for agitating against Trump. Because people like this are creating problems here in the park. I think he should be taken to the Secret Service right now. This guy's causing fights. I support your decision to separate the sides, to keep everything calm, but we've got to enforce that if we're going to establish it, and it's got to be enforced. I've asked this guy politely to go to the other side, he won't. I asked this fine young officer to ask him, he still won't. So now he's not following police orders. That's a problem, isn't it?
I didn't ask to move because he has the First Amendment right.
But if the police have designated two sides for people to exercise their First Amendment rights to stop fights, ask him to leave. I've been asked to leave places and then I leave. This guy is trying to start a fight.
Never. It's a Biden judge. He supports the Biden campaign, the judge. Don't you know that?
I mean, he's going to cause a fight. That's what he's trying to do.
Yeah, can we write signs like that? I mean, goodness.
This guy's just here to agitate. That's not First Amendment. He's trying to start a fight. And if you leave, then you've established that it's okay for him to do it. So why do we separate?
We can't force them to leave. Just like I couldn't force you to leave, I can't force them to leave unless he's doing.
The police have forced me to leave all kinds of places.
You're still here, right?
Not you. You're very nice, Officer Blanco. You might be the nicest NYPD officer I've ever dealt with.
I gotta add in the prettiest.
I was gonna.
Replace AOC in a good way.
Just looking for her left hand there.
She's getting an award.
Listen, I'm trying to keep peaceful.
Yeah, no, I appreciate.
You called me Lindsey Graham's son the other day, and I take offense at that.
I appreciate you coming over, officer. Thank you. So, but this guy's just an asshole and an agitator, and that's what I've been saying the whole time. Well, he's got a Trump hat on so that people think he's supporting Trump, but he's posting a sign that says God should strike Trump dead. And I've seen him protesting with that same crew that's been infiltrating this side each time. Well, they're not allowed to take the sign away, but they could certainly tell him, like, look, you got to go to that other side.
I saw the New York Times photographer taking a picture of it.
But that's exactly why he's here, because they want you to think that Trump supporters are crazy. Yeah, he wants to get it on Fox. That's what he's doing. He's just an agitating asshole.
Jason Miller was over there before. He's a Trump supporter, right?
He's not a Trump supporter. He said he is, right? Yeah, he's an Antifa, Joe Biden.
What do you do?
Nothing I'm going to do. I called the cops and they said they won't do anything.
What are you doing here?
I'm just covering the event. Crowdsource the truth is my jacket.
On the corner.
I took offense what Joe Biden said the other day. It was in the White House. Did you see it on the White House?
What did he say? Everything he says.
No, but I took personal offense because this is what he wrote. This is what he said. He said he's their landlord, denies housing applications because of the color of your skin.
That's not true at all.
And that's an accusation that he made against the landlord of New York, which everybody knows is not true, and it's a federal crime to do that.
So he's saying Trump did that?
Yeah, it's on the White House website.
It's
in
ridiculous.
his speech at the college the other day, 2 days ago, and he said he's that guy he's the landlord who denies housing made for the color of his skin.
Not
If that's
true.
not true, then why don't we call him out? And this accusation, he should be held accountable and take it back.
He just lies about everything. It's terrible.
This is like, imagine somebody said, you just did this and this crime.
Oh, but it's happened to me all the time. Because these people, I've been exposing them for years, and they know that I'm highly effective at exposing their stupid operatives like this guy.
Let's see what he does.
I'm sure he's
Go straight to the
he's writing a letter to his mother. There's sand in his vagina. But I mean, this guy is a nut. And the police, if they establish a rule and you don't follow it, I don't understand how that's
his green pack. That's his
not,
He's got more signs in there.
following police orders. If this is a special condition where they've got to separate the sides and they order you to go to the other side and you don't do it, what's the point? I mean, the police tell you anything and just don't do it. I got to get out of the sun, but thanks for talking to me. Yeah, clouds go in. That sun is raging.
That's the spirit. Hey, man, keep up the great work.
Thank you very much.
All right.
So, I mean, that's just it. The police, whether they've hired these people or they're just enabling them, people see the mechanics of how these disruptions are occurring. But it's, back to Peter Smith and General Flynn and Shane Harris and Ben Wittes. Because I've been asking these guys these questions for 7 years and they don't have any good answers.
Tell them to come back to the table.
They don't have any good answers. And they get nervous. When I ask them these questions, they run away, like Norm did. So, I don't know. You tell me. Does that sound like they're being honest? I don't think so. Let's see what we got happening in the court there. Any news coming to you from inside the courthouse? Let's see what we got here. Maybe Andrew Giuliani has tweeted something. Well, he's got Doug Burgum. That's good. Yeah, maybe they're not even inside there because this courtroom has been, this is 13 minutes ago, the courtroom has been and remains quiet as of 3:45. No movement to report by the jury. The Honorable Judge Merchan, he's got honorable in quotes. The Honorable Judge Merchan, stay on a wide shot so we can see as much as we can, and the Soros-funded DA's office, or the 45th President of the United States and leading candidate to become the 47th. So he's just saying there's nothing happening. People are asking, do you expect deliberations to end at 6 p.m.? I mean, there's no way that Andrew will know. I think even people inside the jury room might have a tough time making that determination, but here in Collect Pond Park, waiting. Yeah, here we've got Lynn Appleby asking why the Norm Eisen thing isn't national worldwide news. It's a good question, Lynn. It's an excellent question that I don't know the answer to. I mean, I guess it kind of is if it got to 1.9 million views on that video. I mean, that's definitely the most looked at thing I've ever done. I guess maybe Amazing Spider-Man, but I can't really say that I did that. I only participated in it and played a small role in the overall thing. But this is, 1.9 million people looking at Norm get yelled at. Deservedly so.
Are we live?
We are live. Would you like
live
to chat?
on
Oh, shit.
Are you a news photographer? Are you a news? Where? Who are you with? Come talk to me. Who? I can't hear you all the way over there. I can't hear you.
I know. I don't want to be on TV.
Okay.
I'm working.
Take care. I don't know. You come over, you want to talk, and then don't want to talk. Let's see. What are people saying on Odyssey.com/@crowdsource the truth? We're just waiting here. I mean, I could be here. How much battery power do I have? Let's see. So this, damn, now this one's down to 50%. So let's see if I start to charge the other one from that, I could do that, right? This is, oh boy, this has just got disaster written all over it though. If something goes wrong with the charging process, and I left this one on, that wasn't good. Let's see if we can sort this out here. So unplug this. Okay. Yeah, so I think these guys are super bent out of shape that after 7 years, I'm finally maybe getting close to the heart of whatever it is they've been up to. And it's got something to do with Felix Sater, Michael Flynn, Michael Cohen, Ben Wittes, Norm Eisen, all these dudes. I think. It seems to, as far as I can tell. All right, now we got the other phone plugged in. Let's make sure that battery is on. Whew, boy, I'm super wired in. That's not going to work. We got to unscrew it from that. So this is going to be an even more. I had to do a lot of stuff to do 5 hours continuous on January 6th. This might be my longest continuous broadcast ever once all is said and done. We'll have to see. Yeah, this is all right. This will work. Charge this now. Okay. Yeah, charging. All right. Wild. Just keep that charging. That's weird. They all ran over to see somebody's lawyer. What lawyer could possibly be interesting in this case right now at this stage of the case? Yeah, the problem is the balance between quenching the thirst and not creating a scenario where I'm going to have to go to the bathroom. All of these guys are super interested in me. You know, keep in mind, I'm pretty used to this. I'm in a role that's a little bit kind of disrupting their normal industry, so I'm not exactly the kind of guy that people like those guys like. Now, those other guys from the satellite truck, they were very friendly, of course, but I'm sure they're in a union and they've got their jobs going at the TV station. They don't really feel threatened by somebody like me, but a freelance photographer who recognizes that more people are looking at X and YouTube and Odyssey and all this stuff than are necessarily looking at the New York Post. Those guys look old enough to me to remember when they had cornered the market on this. And now the more of people like me there are, the less of a need there is for people like them. So those are usually the kind of people that don't like me. I got a bit of that in Hollywood with the 3D stuff because, you know, me being there eliminated the need for certain people or sort of, you know, caused them to need my people instead of their people. People didn't like that. And it's a similar kind of vibe here. Although I think actually it's probably got more to do with the fact that these guys are doing what I allege as far as screwy business with undercover crap with the cops. And me figuring that out and telling everybody about it is not really exactly what they want. All these people who aren't from New York and look at these conflicts and are like, oh, you know, you're a pussy, step, do this, do that. Even the people trying to create the conflicts, if you take that bait, you're just definitely getting arrested. That's why they're doing that. Because if they were actual thugs who wanted to fight with you, they don't do any of that. You just punch you right in the face. All these people who say, oh, if you're gonna throw hands, you know, come at me and this and that. That's why I step back and I tell them to stop advancing, because if I'm moving backwards and they're moving towards me, that's the type of thing that the cops intervene in and stop from happening. So, I mean, this one idiot is there to stand in front of the Fox News shot the whole entire time. This guy is not a Trump supporter. He's a disruptor here to create problems. This guy with the red hat and the sign that says God should strike Trump dead. He's a liar and he's a disruptor and he should have been kicked out of here and sent to the other side. He's wearing a mask because the hat says Make America Great Again, because he's trying to trick people into thinking that he's a Trump supporter. But he's
using us.
He's right. He's just here to disrupt and make people angry. And he's trying to get that sign on Fox News. And he's trying to, you know, this guy is a liar and a scumbag and a deceitful piece of shit who should go to the other side, because no true Trump supporter, because he's a liar and a disruptor. Go to the other side. 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 Yeah, people aren't into it.
What did you say that time? You had a picture of me, quoted me, it was great.
Yeah, guys.
Something that miserable, is that ugly?
What's that?
Is to say something that miserable that he should die?
Isn't that unbelievable? They should get the Secret Service over here. But go let him do whatever he's doing, as long as he doesn't bother us, right?
Pick his nose in Delaware.
Exactly. Have a nice day, man. See, this is Trump supporters, nice people who just want to see the country restored to what it was. Then you got this communist weirdo. This guy wants to groom children, and he wants all kinds of transsexual education in school. And he's over here. He's over here to create a problem. Why don't you go to the other side, you moron? You're here to disrupt. You're here to put your bullshit on Fox News because you're an agitator, and you should be on the other side. The police have separated these two
You're the voice of
sides.
objectivity and rationality. Is that right?
I'm telling you facts, okay?
I'm just asking, you're the voice of objectivity.
You're being
and rationality.
sarcastic, and I don't like your tone. If you want to talk to me,
You're being very aggressive today.
yeah, I don't like you. I don't like you. And I don't like the way you're holding your hands. I don't like the way you're talking to me. I don't think you understand what's going on
You don't
here.
like my accent.
Excuse me?
You don't like my accent.
I don't like anything about you.
Right. You're a very, very tolerant man.
I don't care what you think.
Just
You're a
just-
fat, smelly old guy,
just
so I
remember
don't
the
care
image
what
that
you
you're
think.
projecting of yourself.
Yeah, I remember the image I'm projecting of myself, because we've got people like him who want to be timid around cowards and liars who infiltrate honest systems, and they need to lie. Hey, listen, you scumbag Antifa piece of shit. If you weren't a scumbag, you wouldn't need to disguise yourself and lie to come over here. You could send your message on the other side instead of coming over here to put it up on Fox News. Dude, you are such a coward and a piece of shit. You should go exercise the First Amendment on the other side.
I'm not a coward.
You are a coward, or you would take the mask off. Coward, coward, coward. You're over here infiltrating the pro-Trump side to spread your hateful message that you want Trump to die. It says God should strike Trump dead, is what that guy signs. And he's got the Trump hat on.
Oh, are you crazy?
Because he's trying to deceive us into thinking he's a Trump supporter. Don't do anything to him. Don't hurt him.
What happened to the hat and the sign?
Because he's a deceitful liar.
He probably went to
has
one
a
of the
mental
rallies
illness.
and Trump threw it at him.
I saw this guy here the other day.
Crazy.
He was with like 20 people wearing these black shirts. He's a disruptive, lying, cowardly piece of shit.
Piece of shit.
Who wants to indoctrinate children.
Piece of garbage.
He'll go to Hunter Biden's trial.
Exactly. These guys are
Go with
liars.
Trump's
liars.
Terrible, terrible guy. But don't do anything to him because the police are here to protect him.
I mean, we can't do anything about it.
You can't do anything about it.
Fox News is.
Sorry, ma'am?
Where is Fox News?
Fox News is right there. That's what he's trying to
What's
get his
the live
sign
stream?
on.
What's it called?
Crowdsource the truth.
Crowdsource. Okay. It's on YouTube.
It just got kicked off of YouTube by the cops yesterday, but it's on Twitter.
Okay.
If you search YouTube, you will find it. Yeah. Crowdsource the truth. If you go on there.
I'll take the picture. Just
Yeah, there you
zoom
go.
the picture.
Perfect.
Here we go.
Thanks. What's your name?
BJ. BJ.
BJ, Jason.
Jason.
Nice to meet you, man. Be careful around here. There's a lot of people like that who are
I'm
disguised.
Not those guys, yeah.
No, but I mean,
we are used to it, you know.
but they're trying to draw you into a fight so that the
I
cops will arrest you. And then they say, oh, look, Trump supporters fighting. That's what he's here trying to do. And he wants this guy to take a picture of him with his stupid sign up. And then that picture is going to get into the New York Post. That's what this guy is doing here. He's trying to get his shitty picture into the New York Post so that liars like this fucking guy can send a message to everybody all over the country. Oh, look, even Trump supporters want Trump dead. Even just putting that in the newspaper, God should strike Trump dead.
Piece of shit.
Maybe he should strike you dead.
No, you're a piece of shit.
You're a piece of
Piece
shit.
of garbage. You're a piece of garbage. Get him out. Get him out. Get him out. Get him out.
Now we got the guy with the bell. It's just a coordinated chaos over here. You know, the cops could absolutely tell him to leave, that he's creating a disruption. We've designated this other area over here for protesting. They've done that 1,000,000 times in 1,000,000 other scenarios. The cops don't care about the First Amendment. That's been proven. We know they don't. The cops violate the First Amendment by having these press passes, just like they violate the Second Amendment. They want you to have a license from the cops to exercise the Constitution. You need a First Amendment license, you need a Second Amendment license. They don't know a damn thing about the Constitution. In fact, almost every single NYPD officer I have interfaced with in this city is the most unprofessional piece of shit I have ever encountered. I supported the police my whole entire life until each and every one of them acted like motherfuckers. Every single time I was assaulted and attacked, and the cops were right there witnessing it. It's amazing. Now I'm suing the NYPD, and Lieutenant George Ibrahim is lying in court. Disgraceful. These cops should all resign. The city would be safer without them. Let us exercise the Second Amendment. That would be much better. But instead, they disguise themselves badly, and they come into the park with these idiots in costumes hoping to create a fight. Maybe they have some stupid idea about how that's going to help enforce the law or maintain safety in the city. But even a blind moron could tell that the city is falling apart, and the cops, they love to pass off the responsibility because they're idiots and they're irresponsible. So they say, well, it's Alvin Bragg, he won't prosecute anything. But they could have asked that guy to go to the other side to prevent what he's trying to cause. But they don't. They'd rather sit here texting, smoking. This looks like Bad Kitty is finding information on Norm Eisen. I'm so glad that people are figuring out what a scumbag asshole Norm Eisen is. He's protected by the cops. The cops love protecting scumbag assholes because birds of a feather stick together. I tried to report evidence to the police that a Venezuelan gang member was embedded in a protest. I was giving them public domain evidence and they insisted on taking my driver's license. Why? The last time I gave the cops my driver's license in the course of making a police report, they gave me a ticket and let the assailant go. They didn't look at the red marks on my neck where I had been strangled because they're fucking idiots. So now they're getting sued. Yeah, there's a lot going on here down in the park today. Very weird. Jury deliberations could go on until 6. I mean, so what do we think they're in there saying? I think I had mentioned this. Now this woman has a sign that I think I kind of agree with. Ma'am, so you're saying that the DA is allowing the cops to abuse...
Yes, abuse domestic violence victims and sex trafficking victims.
So, sorry?
Domestic violence victims and sex trafficking victims, they're allowing them to abuse.
They protect the guys who are victimized?
Yeah.
May I ask a personal question?
Yes.
Are you a victim?
Yes.
And what did the cops do to you? I believe you, by the way. I know what you're saying is true.
Okay, my brother's forcing me into prostitution, and he's forcing me to have sex with cops, so he's getting protection. I actually have a dermatologist.
Your brother, did you say?
Yeah, he started this, and he got other people involved, like dermatologist Schwager, who's giving me health insurance. He ruined my face with a laser, that's why I'm wearing a mask. So he's involved in sex trafficking as well. So they bribing cops, and basically took everything away from me. I don't have, I don't have money.
But is there a court case or something?
Yeah, I was falsely accused of a crime, and it's a misdemeanor, and they're dragging it. Alvin Bragg he knows
you
that
were charged with a crime?
Yes. Falsely accused of a crime that kicking a girl in the back. That's it. It's a misdemeanor. They're dragging out for 2 years now. It was actually dismissed in October 11 and reopened in an hour later. And I have very corrupt lawyer that is really misrepresenting me.
So you had to hire a lawyer?
No,
They appointed you a lawyer?
Yes, it's an 18B lawyer. It's very corrupt and he's misrepresenting
Yes,
me.
It happens all the time. I'm so sorry that you're having this. Now, your accent tells me you're from another country.
Yes.
Where are you from, may I ask?
I'm originally from Poland. I've lived
And so what did you think about coming to the United States and having this happen to you? You never thought that would happen in the United States, right?
No, I didn't. But the thing is, where I'm from, there'll be so much worse. So.
Wow. Thank you for speaking to me. I'm sorry that all happened to you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Tim.
No, I see her sitting down over there, so I have no idea.
Wow. So now the news is mobilizing. Something must be happening. Music is playing. Something's developing. Let's see if Andrew Giuliani has an update. Nothing new. I love it when people who don't know me, don't know what's going on, like that old guy. There's a certain type of person who thinks that just because they're old, they know how to tell me what I should be doing. That guy, the reason I pointed out that he's a fat, dusty old guy.
That guy is like the January 6th infiltrator.
Exactly.
The 2021 January 6th, that guy is one
You get
infiltrator.
it. You're absolutely correct.
They went to do the wrong in January 6th, and now he's coming to challenge people. The person which is against Trump. That's what they did.
100% correct.
Yes, that's what they did.
I agree with you.
So pissed off. Like somebody using me like this. He's there. Like if it would be Trump, but with that ugly sign, did you get to see what he said?
Yeah, he said God should strike Trump dead.
Oh my God.
It's like, get the hell out of here. And he's lying to everybody saying he's pro-Trump supporter. He's got the Trump hat on. And I mean, I'm saying, I said that there are infiltrators, agitators who dress up as Trump supporters, and there he is doing it. And they still say it's a conspiracy theory or whatever.
How can people do that?
He's a lowlife.
Infiltrator. That's what it is. January 6th. That should be an evidence of the thing.
I agree.
That's how they infiltrated. The bad guy went in to infiltrate the people who were defending democracy. The people who went in January 6th, 2021, they were there for a head count to tell the world that their votes were not counted correctly. They asked the world, count the votes properly. And that's why the people went on January 6, 2021.
Now, sir, your accent tells me you're from another country.
From this country, Dominican Republic.
Aha. How long have you lived in the United States?
But I'm a serviceman. I spent 24 years in the military.
Well, thank you
US
for that.
military, yes.
Which branch?
Navy 16, Air Force 8.
Wow, my dad was in the Navy.
Oh, okay.
So did you ever think you'd experience this kind of thing in the United States with a trial like this? Does this go on in the Dominican Republic?
It's kind of dictatorship or something.
Like political trials?
They're fighting, destroying democracy.
It's crazy.
How they want to do, because the freedom of speech, where is it? What are they doing, these people?
It's terrible.
My son is a West Point graduated.
Oh, wow.
He's in the Army. Wow, but I can't believe, I got so pissed with that gentleman.
Terrible guy, isn't he? And I've seen him around. He's been doing this for days. I don't see how standing there with a sign earns him money. I mean, I know you and I have seen each other around. I presume you might be retired.
Yes, I am.
And I'm making money by doing these broadcasts. So I don't know what these other people are doing here. Take it easy, man. Be safe. You know, see, that's the thing. Normal people show up, check it out, and they leave. And then some people like you have time, so they come and they are here for a time. But that guy, he's here for hours at a time, day after day.
Infiltrating into the thing.
Somebody's paying him to do that, I would think. And then this guy thinks he knows me to tell me what to do.
Yes, yes.
Why are you photographing my dick? What are you crouching down and photographing my...
It's called an angle, guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not photographing your dick.
You're pointing the lens right at my dick. Yeah, so are you. How am I newsworthy?
You're not. You are absolutely less than newsworthy.
So good, fuck off. Well, we'll allow this guy to photograph you. Did they let you onto the other side? I think they're just going to get angry and create a problem.
Oh, I went on the other side.
Well, I know, but I
That's the girl
mean,
that
they're
attacked
just
us.
trying to create fights. Huh?
When you wake up in the morning, what drives you?
Why don't you fuck off?
What drives you?
Get the fuck away from me, asshole, okay?
Scumbag liberal.
Yeah.
You're gonna burn in hell. How do you know I'm a liberal?
Yeah, I don't care what you are, you're just a fucking asshole. You're agitating me. You have no idea what's going on. You got a fucking mask on your elbow, and you're a bitch. That's how we know you're a fucking lefty piece of shit. He's got a mask on his elbow. That's how you know he's a liberal. He's a fucking loser.
Give me a minute. What's going on with you, bro? Why are they coming at you?
Because they know that I'm busting all their undercover people. That guy over there with the red hat.
What do you want?
If you go to Twitter.
Do it.
Not Twitter?
Yeah, I got Twitter, but...
Crowdsource the truth is me, but go on X. Yeah, here. Here we go. Where's the search?
I want people exposed.
JG. You're going to love this because I was yelling at Norm Eisen.
Oh, you see me yelling at the motherfuckers, right?
JG. Where's our underscore there?
Does he know how to do it?
No, I got it. We got
I
underscore.
don't tweet, I just follow.
JG underscore. Whoops.
And I'm not paying $25 a month to download photos.
CS. There it is. Crowdsource the truth. Did it get it? Yeah, there you go. Check out this top video. You're going to love it. Yelling at Norm. So this guy with the red hat, he's got a Trump hat on. So he's trying to convince everybody. Yeah, the gray hair and the red hat. And he's been holding up a sign that said, God strike them.
Menendez is still in it.
Yeah.
I got some oranges.
Be careful, though.
I'm from Prague, from Czech TV.
Anyway, he's got a sign that said, God should strike down Trump dead. And I just said to him, look, that side over there is for protesting.
He's got a Trump hat on?
Yes, so he's lying, he's trying to trick everybody, he's infiltrating this side. Hang on, excuse me 1 second. What's up?
I don't know who the hell this guy is.
What's going on?
So I'd like to know why do you support Donald Trump? Why do you like him?
Why? Because he did wonderful for the country. Our country went to shit with Biden. Oh, you like, whatever, I got freedom of speech, so, you know.
Well, Joe Biden, he stopped all the drilling.
Biden is a pedophile, destroyed everything. Hillary Clinton sex trafficked kids. Her husband did all sorts of terrible things in the White House, and they was okay with that.
I know.
And you need it hanging on your back.
I know. This guy over here. Such a douche.
I'm sure there's a few of them, but what are you going to do, man? They're getting
I think
before, they used to keep it divided, remember, right?
Well, and that's what I was just saying, is that it makes sense to keep people divided. Everybody can exercise the First Amendment, but we're maintaining order, and the cops have determined that because of this unusual situation, protesting happens there, and support happens here. They've put that system in place to avoid fights and maintain safety, and that guy...
I told the cops, you was there that day when you was getting in their face. I told
And
them,
we got thrown out from there.
We recorded, something happens, it's on the cops, because they're supposed to keep the peace, and they're not keeping the peace.
Yeah, but they always want you to turn off the camera so that they have the only evidence. It's so roasty hot over here, I gotta go back to the shade. Yeah, here we go. So, the cops, I think, want this disruption here. That guy's standing there so that his terrible sign can be seen on Fox News.
I follow you on TikTok, so.
I'm not on TikTok. Oh, somebody's posting my stuff on TikTok.
Okay, then I follow that.
Yeah,
You're not? Why you don't like TikTok?
Because I think that,
You're being spied on?
I think, yes.
Everybody's spied
I know,
so
but it would just
you're
keep it at home,
I know, but you're losing on the audience.
Man, that might be true.
You're losing on the audience. Yeah, you are, because your own people are screwing you. I was at the city council. I'm a taxi driver advocate.
Yeah, you told me.
We got some bills that we want to pass, but we can't pass them because it's our own people. Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, black, our own people screwing us.
Wow.
But then they want to trick us and gaslight us.
Hello, sir.
And say,
Sorry for interrupting you. I'm broadcasting for the Argentinian TV. We are on live. What do you expect from this trial? ¿Qué es lo que esperas?
He's going to walk a free man. He's an innocent man. The DA should go to jail. That's why.
Dice que espera que Donald Trump camine libre fuera de...
He can speak to you in Spanish.
Hablas español, perfecto.
Es criminal. El DA Alvin Bragg es un criminal. Está tratando de ¿cómo se dice? Ganar puntos con la gente de aquí en Nueva York, los demócratas. Yo soy Raúl Rivera, soy neoyorquino, soy puertorriqueño, tengo 54 años y toda mi vida me han dicho, vota demócrata porque el demócrata va a ayudar al pobre, y es una mentira, y ya todo eso está saliendo a la luz.
Raúl, expliquemos que Alvin Bragg es el fiscal que está persiguiendo.
Sí, pero él mismo no quería el caso, pero cuando empezó a correr para su oficina, entonces revivió el caso. Eso se sabe. Hay cosas sencillas que uno puede ver, que esto es un fraude, están dañando el sistema de las cortes de los Estados Unidos. Estos políticos no están respetando la Constitución. Ellos ponen su mano en la Biblia, ¿entiendes? Entonces hacen lo que les den la gana. Y eso no está bien. Eso son cosas sencillas que se pueden ver. No se tiene que investigar nada. Hay cosas que ellos dicen y no lo hacen.
O sea, perdón, ¿tú no crees que Donald Trump haya pagado con dinero de su empresa a Michael Cohen para que callara a una persona?
Esto es para atacarlo, para pararlo, que quiere correr como presidente, y este es el año que va a ganar y lo quieren parar. Que eso son muchas mentiras, no se puede creer este DA, no se puede creer esta ciudad. Y yo nací en esta ciudad, yo conozco esta ciudad, hay muchos mentirosos aquí, muchos. En el Consejo Municipal tenemos puertorriqueños, tenemos morenos, tenemos dominicanos, son nuestra propia gente que están parando los otros tenemos propuestas para los taxistas. Y no es el hombre blanco, it's not the white man, no es el hombre blanco. Our own people.
Muchísimas gracias por haberte dado el tiempo. No, you are on live. We are
It's
not
our
censoring
own,
anything.
Okay, it's our own people. It's our own people blocking us.
Es nuestra propia gente la que nos bloquea.
Nuestra propia gente en el Consejo Carolina Rivera, Amanda Ferías, a un montón.
Nuestra gente.
We got a black mayor. El alcalde Moreno. We got a black mayor.
Nuestra gente. Doing it to us.
Yeah.
Terrible.
That's
Well,
what
was
it
that
is.
a good interview? You like that?
Well, he said it was live, so it got out there.
Sounded good. I only understood a little bit of it.
If he said it was live, that means it got out there. I'm basically telling them that it's
Alvin Bragg.
our own people. Yeah, the DA, he didn't even want the case, but since he ran for office, right, so he could get the post that he has now, he revived the case. There's a few people that you know about that I don't know that you was mentioning on some of your videos that didn't want it, right? There was 2 or 3 people that didn't want to bother with it.
Well, that was the Southern District of New York, which is a federal prosecution where it should have happened, and they said this is not a case. You don't have sufficient evidence to bring
Is that
a
a
case.
bigger court? That's a higher court?
Yeah,
you
that's
see?
district court.
Yeah.
And they said no because there's insufficient evidence. So the real
And the thing with the Tish James, with this, Mar-a-Lago's not worth $18 million. You know that.
Oh, it's way,
a little
way more,
bathroom
way
is worth
more.
$18 million.
If you look at you look at an aerial photograph just of that area of Florida, where I mean, like one regular house is probably $3-4 million. This thing is taking up so many plots of land that a regular house would be on. Like even if it burned down and there was nothing there, it's still worth way more than $18 million.
And when you're selling property, mainly a house or a vehicle, you boost it up. Everybody
well,
boosted
exactly.
it up.
So let's say you had a car. Let's say I answer your ad on Craigslist and you say, hey, I want $10,000 for this car, and I say, I'll give you 5. You think it's worth 10, I say 5.
Yeah.
We settle on 7,500.
Yeah.
That's how that goes. That's
Yes,
negotiation.
Yes, yeah. And he ain't the only one that's done it. Everybody's done it. You and I would do it if it could. If
Anybody,
it's gonna,
right.
if it's gonna help. It's ridiculous. It's
It is.
ridiculous. And you know what? They should investigate Tish James. Where these politicians like Pelosi, if you get
so rich?
Yeah, how do you get so rich? If you make
Stock
$200,000 a year, and you're in Congress, what 20, 30? How the hell you get 250 million, 200 million?
When you know you're going to pass the CHIPS Act and NVIDIA is going to go up, you buy that and suddenly you're rich.
That's insider trading, right? They know,
Absolutely.
They know about that. They get those inside tips. AOC is worth millions and millions of dollars.
That's crazy, but
How
you're
do
right.
How do they get that money?
So now-
I'm in her district.
Oh, really?
I met with her people twice. She refuses to meet with me.
What?
Yeah. I'm in the district.
And
I'm
you're the
district
taxi
14.
advocate.
Yeah.
So what is the biggest problem for taxis right now? Uber and stuff?
Like right now, the Uber and Lyft are locking out the drivers because they have this minimum wage that they have to pay for the drivers, and if there's not enough business, they can't keep them busy. The city's gonna fine them. So instead of getting fined, they lock them out. And when it gets busy, they open up the app. So you got to go to where it's busy. You got to get. It happened to me in 2019. I was sitting in my car, waiting for the app to get unlocked. It's ridiculous.
So, but you drive a yellow cab, or you?
No, I'm a TLC driver. I'm able to drive whatever, yellow, green. I prefer the apps because I like the technology. I don't like to
Okay.
deal with cash. So I did Uber and Lyft. I got 20.
Because you're going to get robbed if you have all that cash.
Yeah, nobody wants to rob. You'd be stupid to rob a Uber driver. They don't have money.
Right.
You know, so I got 23,000 trips with Uber and Lyft. You know, I don't want to deal with the yellow because the yellow deals with money. And the greens deal with money, and I want to deal with that.
Did you know that Michael Cohen was involved in some
Yeah,
taxi
yes,
medallion
yes.
scheme with Friedman? What was that guy's name? Evgeny Friedman?
He was on some medallions and all that. Citibank got like 40 medallions. You know?
What, because when that guy went out, you mean they got it on the bankruptcy or something?
There's foreclosures. They get their foreclosures. They get them all back.
Because those guys cornered the market on medallions by raising the prices at auctions.
90% of the drivers are immigrants with a language barrier. Immigrant says, "Oh, I got a yellow taxi. I'm gonna make money." You know, the yellow is an icon.
Yeah.
But with the taxi license, I can drive whatever. You know what I mean? And there's a union here in the city. It's a so-called union.
But I think a lot of people who aren't from New York don't realize the value of the actual medallion on the taxi. It's not the same as the individual driver's license, the car itself.
Well, the medallion gives you permission. You put it on a vehicle. You can drive it yourself if you have a TLC license. If not, you could rent out the vehicle
to a licensed.
The thing with the medallion is you can pick up in the street hails. At the airports, anywhere in the 5 boroughs, you can pick up. That's the only difference between Uber and Lyft and everybody else. The green cabs can pick up in the street, in the outer boroughs, above 96.
Yeah, I see those in Brooklyn and
stuff. The green cabs came out because the yellows were discriminating on the outer boroughs. But the outer boroughs don't like the meter. So they prefer delivery base. You know, they get a set pay. You know, A to B, 20 bucks.
Because the distance is further, right.
They don't like the meter. They don't like to see the meter clicking away, you know what I mean?
Then the people riding don't want that. They want zones.
And they were supposed to put out 18,000. In 2013, they were supposed to put 18,000 greens. And they had like 6,000.
You barely ever see them.
Yeah, but now there's like around 600.
That's nothing.
I know.
I barely ever see them.
They don't want meters.
Like I see them and I'm like, what is that?
People don't want meters. They don't want meters. In the outer boroughs, they don't want meters. I got a lawsuit that we're going to file soon against the commissioner. My lawyer, instead of filing it, she wants to send it to him. And I'm telling her he's not going to listen. So we're going to give him 10, 15 days. They don't respond, then we're going to file it.
But here's the thing. You look about my age. You got a lot of years left to work.
I'm 54.
Yeah. So, but I'm saying...
I'm Puerto Rican. We don't
You
retire.
age well, yeah.
We
So
retire.
another at least 20 years you're probably going to be driving. What about...
Right now I'm not driving because it got so expensive with the gas. So I switched over to doing security work. So I have a TLC license and I have a security guard license. So right now I'm doing security work.
Wow.
I do private security.
But don't you think that automated driving, self-driving cars is going to affect this industry?
No. Listen, I got a quote that I came up with, and it says, humans first, technology second, today, tomorrow, forever. It should always be that way. We should never put technology ahead of people.
But
no matter how good it is.
But the people who own the taxi companies will say, why do we want to pay these drivers? We'll just get a car.
No. This is the way it's supposed to work is, I'm a taxi driver, I have a license, I'll go to the dealer, buy the car, put all the stickers on it, and put the car on the road. That's it. And we keep the profits, and the money stays in New York.
Right.
Because Whammo and Tesla, they want to take the business.
California.
It's not about selling a driverless car. It's about taking the customer. It's about taking the industry. Taxi drivers in the city, 1 million trips a day. 1 million trips a day.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Yes.
That's where the money's at. Not driverless vehicles. And you know, Tesla wants to remove the steering wheel.
Yeah.
So what happens if there's something goes wrong? Well, you're gonna go off that bridge.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Nah, you gotta preserve the industry for here. If you want to put a driverless vehicle on the road, no problem. I had a meeting with Adams. I talked to Adams. We said, put the driverless vehicle on the road, no problem. But the owner is gonna be the TLC driver. If you got that TLC license, the ones that are grandfathered in, let them get those cars and you go to the dealer, you buy a Toyota, whatever it is, and you put it on the road. And if it's so good, you watch it from your iPhone, you watch it from your iPad, you sit home and you make money, right? Why can't you partake in that, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's...
You should be able to partake in that, right? That's the American way, capitalism, right?
Absolutely, it makes a lot of sense.
But now, what they want to do is, they want to steal the industry. They want to take those trips.
Who's they that's trying to steal it?
Everybody that's creating those driverless cars. Whammo, Tesla, that's what it is. Oh, really? But you know one thing that they don't talk about?
robo-taxi, right.
Yeah, robo-taxi, yeah. And a lot of drivers, listen, the robo-taxi is not, come on, you've seen the winters here in New York? You ever seen the hills in the Bronx?
Yeah.
You don't want to get in one of those cars, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what's going to happen if the weather's that bad, they're going to say, sorry, due to the weather, there's no
the
taxi.
batteries don't work well in the super
the
cold.
cobalt, you know about cobalt?
Yeah.
Cobalt's a mineral that's needed to make those batteries. Cobalt is a mineral that's needed to make those
And
batteries.
they make little kids mine it in Africa.
Yeah, in the DRC, the Democratic Republic of Congo, they're digging for that cobalt because Adams wants a green city.
Right, but he doesn't care about those little
They
kids.
don't care about those little kids, and they're becoming orphans because their parents are dying.
They're dying in that mine.
They're
exactly.
dying in the tunnels. They get buried alive.
It's very, very dangerous.
But I go to the council and I told them that's their legacy. That will be your legacy.
They don't care.
I know that. But
These guys sit around.
They don't care
about anything.
Documenting it. What you do is important.
Thank you.
You know, it takes everybody's got to document. Everybody's got to be you
I
got to be an
agree.
editor. You got to be an advocate. You got to be a reporter. You got to do all of it. You got to do
It's
all
true.
of it. You got to do all of it.
I appreciate you, Raul. Thanks for coming
thank God
over
for
and
the
talking
smart,
to me, man.
The smartphones.
Appreciate you. These people here are crazy.
You call the bullshit. Yesterday we was protesting against 32BJ, the union, 32BJ.
Uh-huh.
Bullshit union. bullshit.
I have
union.
nothing but bad experiences with unions. I paid them a lot of money and they never did anything for me.
Yeah, there's a lot of porters that were complaining that they're doing double the work for the same amount, and then the union delegates and the union
They get the money, but they're not doing anything
They look out
for
for
them.
the contractors
Yeah,
and they look
yeah,
out for
yeah.
the building managements.
Right.
Israel Melendez, he's the vice president to the security division. This guy's gonna kill it. They don't even know that.
Why don't you run for like city council or something?
I'm not interested in none of
No?
that. I'm not
But you know so much about all this stuff.
I don't know. It sounds like I do. I don't know. I'm a rookie. I'm still learning at 54. The way you're supposed to operate is with common sense.
Look at these people on the bicycles in the middle of the park.
With truth, love, and common sense. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
That's it. There's people that are looking for cameras and shit like that. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They don't even, Donald Trump. He has feelings. The guy has feelings. He's a grandpa. He got kids. His kids see it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
He's not only doing what he's doing for us. He's doing for his kids.
What about his
He's
wife?
showing face. He's showing face for his kids. You know
What
I
about
mean?
his wife? Could you imagine if for 2 years your wife had to open the paper every day and read about having sex with a hooker, and it's terrible.
Yeah, and they always say immigrant this, he racist this, racist that. His kids come from immigrants.
Yeah.
Except one of his daughters, Tiffany, right?
Right.
With Marlon Maple. That's it.
Yeah. No, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
His wife doesn't even speak. She speaks, broken English. She has a heavy accent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's fucking bananas.
It is.
Bananas. You can't say one thing positive. And they go, oh, you voted for Trump. I never voted for Trump. I never voted for him.
Are you going to vote 24?
Yeah, most definitely. If I could vote 10 times, I would. But I can only vote once. But
You got to be a Democrat to do that.
I voted once. I voted once for.
Once for what?
I voted once for Obama in 2008 because he sounded like a smart guy.
Yeah, I did the
new.
same thing. I got
But
fooled.
only once. We didn't get fooled.
I did.
We use our gut. We use our second brain, which is our gut.
Yeah.
And they told us, this guy, let's vote for this guy. See if he makes a difference. He didn't.
Yeah, no, he made it worse. This is what's going on here is
Obamacare.
his deal.
I don't know.
Verdict's in.
Oh, the verdict's in?
Verdict's in. The verdict's in? Oh boy. So what's going to happen now?
WABC radio, that's what you listen to?
I don't know. I'm just looking at Andrew Giuliani tweeting.
Yeah, he.
The jury has a verdict, he says.
I got arrested because I crashed a DOT press conference. I got arrested, but my lawyer knocked down those
Just
charges.
remember, this is all going live and getting recorded.
It's all
So,
right. It's okay.
but I'm going to step away from that because it'll monetize my video. Take care, Raul. I'll see you around the park here. The verdict is... So what the hell is going to happen when we hear this verdict? What do you guys think? Guilty, not guilty, hung jury? Historic moment here, as it's been announced that the verdict is in. So that's good. My battery preservation efforts have gotten us this far, and there's another phone charging in the event that this goes on much longer. So where are all the crazies with the signs? They seem to have melted away. Most of them. Oh my God, I hate that easy rig. People try to use that instead of a steady cam. I could just, the first time I saw that, I said, that is ridiculous. And I cannot believe that that thing ever gained traction, but I do see people using it. Easy rig, I hate it. We're just out here waiting for the verdict. How's everybody doing on Odyssey? Yeah. No, there is a lot of radio interference down here with all these satellite trucks, and also basically almost everybody here is running a cell phone, and then the cops are obviously utilizing a ton of bandwidth for all their texting, busily doing that. Daniel, you're too kind. Uh-oh, looping? Miss Create. Try refreshing. I've got it playing smoothly here, not looping. So maybe that's just, I don't know. How's everybody doing on Subscribestar? How can I get there? I got an interface difficulty here. There we go. Look at this. It's almost like they know what's going to happen and it's not going to be good, or they're expecting something crazy no matter what. Oh, I guess it's not playing continuously here on Subscribestar. Sorry about that, everybody. Yeah, that's from before, so we're going to have to come back to Subscribestar after the fact. We got 2 helicopters visible there. Damn it, it stopped charging. What's up with that? Well, I guess this other phone's gonna have to last. Oh, this pulled out. Okay, now it's charging. 30%, not good. All that time spent not charging. All right, well, now it is.
It, man.
Yeah, what do you think? Guilty? Not guilty?
He's got to be guilty.
Why do you think that?
Because that's what the experts say, that's all. I trust experts.
No expert has said that. They've all said that this is an absolute sham and that they haven't even revealed what the federal felony is, and that the whole thing is crooked as hell. What experts do you listen to?
Ex-prosecutors.
Who?
I forget names.
Yeah, I don't think they said that. Everybody's been saying that they've never seen a case like this before. The judge isn't following the law. The guy who was going to be retained by Michael Cohen as his attorney said that Cohen made the whole thing up. And nobody has been able to link Donald Trump to the ledger entry that was supposedly falsified. It's a verdict waiting on paperwork. Everybody is waiting with bated breath. Do we have a third helicopter? Yes. So 3 helicopters. Yeah, this is an excellent use of police resources and city funds. Gin up a stupid fake case from a felon who cooked up a scheme with a hooker and her attorney Benjamin Wittes, Norm Eisen, Andrew Weissman. There is so much evidence that these people all created this nonsense just to jam up Donald Trump, going back to 2016. Verdict waiting on paperwork. I guess we'll see what the response of the crowd will be.
Glenn Kirshner, he said it's not a fake jury.
Okay, he must be right.
You don't have to worry.
Don't touch me. It's a lot of weirdos who have a lot of stupid shit to say and think it's a good idea to put their hands on them. Why did that guy even come over to me? Dude, you're such a fucking loser. This guy's a fucking weasel. Get lost, stupid. Fucking loser. So see, now people who are around in the neighborhood must have heard the verdict is in, and they figure they'll walk over. And there's enough people around in New York who can come right over here that this is going to start to fill up quite quickly, I think. And we're going to get a lot of people who think it's a good idea to maybe ride a bicycle in the park, do all kinds of stuff. Thank you to the people who are here on X giving me updates of what's going on inside the court. If you're not following me on X, you can do that at JG_CSTT. I'm not yet able to provide sponsor exclusive broadcasts on X. I've asked them to allow me to accept subscribers, but it's been pending for months and months. So if you're interested in sponsor exclusive content, please become a sponsor. You can do that on odyssey.com/@crowdsourcethetruth, crowdsourcethetruth.substack.com, and subscribestar.com and patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth. I'm frequently advising people to join on Odyssey because, first of all, you can subscribe totally for free. And even for free, Odyssey has become the largest repository of Crowdsource the Truth legacy content anywhere on the internet. And you can also become a member on there for as little as $3 a month. And there's a 58-cent Odyssey fee, but when you become a member, you can enjoy a huge library of sponsor exclusive content. And you also help make this kind of reporting possible. Couldn't do this every day without the support of the generous sponsors who sponsor Crowdsource the Truth. And by the way, I hope people understand why I do this. It's not just, ooh, send me money. The idea is, you know, you see all these other people who have advertisers or they need to keep their channel on YouTube because they're monetized on YouTube or Rumble or whatever. I'm not doing that. I'm doing content that is the content that I think should be done. And no advertiser can tell me, hey, we don't like what you said to this person, or we don't like you covering Ben Wittes, or leave Andrew Weissman alone, or we think that you told Norm he was an effing liar and that wasn't cool. And they would say, well, we're cutting your advertising and now you're out. Or YouTube cuts off the channel like they did the other day. Hey, that's a really long extension pole. That guy's got a very long, oh, I guess mine's not, there we go. How did I have that not fully extended and not even notice? Anyway, by making the show sponsored by the individual viewers, no one sponsor can exert influence over me or the show or anything like that. There have been people in the past who have tried to sponsor the show for $100. There's one person early on sent me $100, and then after 3 months of $100 a month, tried to get me to interview this guy who, in my view, is quite obviously a liar. And when the interview didn't go the way the lady wanted, she got all upset. That's a great little dog right there. Is this a Boston Terrier? Such a cute kind of dog. Yep. What's that dog's name? Maxie. Maxie. Like Jack Maxie. Have a good day, Maxie. So, but now people are streaming in because they're hearing from whatever, they're around in the neighborhood walking the dog or whatever. The verdict is in. So everybody wants to be a part of this historic moment. And so the agitators are gone. Now why? Where did they all go? I mean, is it just me, or is that, you know, they've gone somewhere and they're planning something? This guy looks like he might have a direct line into the court. Yeah, but then that $300 sponsor got upset and threatened to cancel the sponsorship. And I just canceled it for her. I'm not going to be told what to do by anybody. It's just not.
It's great timing. Thank you.
Well, either great or terrible.
No.
That sounds like Australian news.
Can you please?
Great timing. Actually, that other lady was from Australia the other day, too. It's a hell of a trip. Okay, so Norm says breaking. There is a verdict. The verdict is you're a friggin' liar, Norm. Well, this is the most people that we've had in Collect Pond Park for quite a while. So that's interesting in and of itself. Thanks to everybody who's been viewing and sharing the Million Norm tweet. It's now the 1.9 million Norm tweet. Maybe it'll get to 2 million. That would be cool. I guess once the trial is done, it's a little bit less relevant. There's a lot of people streaming into the park right now.
So I'll try to get like 4 or 5.
I know there's a lot of reporters here, but I don't see any Trump.
Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling some of these, like that guy with the mask on his arm, they probably know who I am. I mean, I imagine I'm known among these disrupting people, and they say, "Oh, get a picture of that guy," and we'll try and make him look stupid or get him going in a fight. Everybody is just, how long does it take to do the paperwork? Slate reporting, oh no, that's Norm from earlier with Trump's racial slur. No verdict today, 22 minutes ago. As expected, jury will be excused at 4:30. But then 23 minutes, he says there is a verdict. So that's great reporting, Norm. No verdict, verdict. So enough with Norm. Let's go back to Andrew Giuliani. Merchan is back 21 seconds ago. He asks the Trump defense team and Soros-funded DA's office if they're ready to bring out the jury. The answer is yes, awaiting a jury.
Go back out. You see where those cops are right there? Let them know. They have to send you out this way. You're locked this way?
Pretty full here in the park. Funny, where'd those other two helicopters go?
My phone number.
Thank you.
Follow me, I'll follow you back.
You got it.
All right.
Thank you, Ralph.
Are you on X?
On X, yeah. I'll hit you up on there. NYC Drivers Unite on X for Raul. Make sure I save that. I don't know. He sounded like he would make a good politician to me. He seems to know a lot about the certain specific problems of the city. Now it's kind of getting cold. Where's the sun? Oh, wow. Big clouds over there. Yeah, it's like, you know, lawyers, they get paid by the hour, so nobody is in a rush, I think, is what's going on there. So somebody says refresh. Jury of 12 New Yorkers residing from the island of Manhattan have re-entered the courtroom stage right, walking between President Donald J. Trump and Merchan, the honorable judge, and then walking past the Soros-funded DA's office before they take their seats in the jury box. Andrew Giuliani is a good writer. I like how he's doing this. See, the problem is, where are all those army of weirdos, and why are they not here? They were here all day, and now at the moment that everybody is here for, they're not here? How is that normal? People who are the most interested are not here, and this stupid lady is here? What is she doing here? So what's the name of the nonprofit that funds your stupid movement here, lady? Can you tell me that? What's the name of the nonprofit? I'll find out, don't worry.
Joe Biden's a crackhead. His son's a crackhead.
You tell her, you're right. That guy knows.
And on top of that, they're all thieves taking money from China and everybody else.
Did you hear Costello, the lawyer, his testimony?
Well, no, but I just got here right now. I just came off a plane.
But the other day, that's the guy,
Yeah.
these guys want to answer.
Sí, claro que sí. Trump es número uno, como nosotros, trabajador, le gusta trabajar, hacer dinero para tu familia, familia mía. Americano, siempre era americano, muchos años atrás, toda la gente le gusta a Trump, 20 años, 30 años atrás, toda la gente estaba con Trump, toda la gente.
Tu respaldo a Trump.
¿Qué?
Tu respaldo a Trump.
Mi español un poco, mi mamá de Cuba, ella le gusta Trump, mi papá, ¿es convicted?
That's what it sounds like. Yeah, we should have known that that's what was going to happen. So the anti-Trump side is cheering. We have a conviction.
And then what?
They are asking if President Trump is guilty of all 34 counts, 17 through 17 or yes.
Guilty of what? What did he do? What crime did he commit?
They just found him guilty
Yeah,
in
of
there.
what?
Sham bullshit that they
Sham
got
bullshit.
in there. That's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
This is a really bad moment for the United States of America.
Terrible, terrible. And then she's happy. She's not even the reason why she's happy.
Because she's a psychotic little witch.
Yeah. Latinos for Trump. We're still down with Trump. We're still down with Trump. We're still down with Trump.
So now the news media floods it. So now we're going to get the anti-Trump weirdos back in here. So now I think is the moment that it becomes dangerous to be here. I can't say it's a surprise. I think I really felt that this was going to happen when we started hearing about these crazy jury instructions. But will they jail Trump? Jury has announced that President Donald J. Trump is guilty of all 34 counts. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Justice is dead in the United States of America. This is lawfare. And now what? So now we've got the NYPD charging in. So what do they expect? Uh-oh. They're in the pond. You know what though? All the people that we just saw there in the park before, they were like calm standing there. They didn't seem like the kind of people who are going to fight over this. So if that is happening, it's just more set up nonsense. And of course, Joe Biden will give a speech tonight. And he'll say some kind of nonsense about yeah, but the appeal is not going to matter, and the lawfare practitioners know that. They're going to now ride this hard, harder than Stormy Daniels ever got ridden, until November. And also all these idiots will say forever, Trump got convicted, he's a criminal. This is what they wanted. So this is it. The justice system in the United States has been absolutely destroyed. And these people are reveling in it. So now what they want is a fight over there.
Keep locked, keep locked. Democracy helps.
Yeah, so we've got the anti-Trump people spilling in here.
We deserve a voice. We deserve housing. We deserve to work.
So why, at this volatile moment, are the police, I hope they're not allowing people to cross over? The country has been absolutely taken over by criminals. Oh, so let's see. So what's the name of the nonprofit that's funding your criminal activity? What's the name of the nonprofit that funds all of your...
I think you want to talk to me to work for Trump.
No, I think that this is a bullshit lawfare case, and all of you guys who helped contribute to the destruction of justice in America will regret it someday, but unfortunately all of us will.
We deserve to work. We deserve to earn a living. I don't have a job. Nobody.
All these gloating assholes. But so what happens to Trump now? Are they putting him in jail? What does Norm say, this scumbag son of a bitch?
Huh?
But so what happens though? Do they take him to jail? Do they...
Yeah, take him to jail.
What does Andrew Giuliani say? Never been more disappointed to be a New Yorker. Jury of 12 Manhattanites have left the courtroom for the final time. Stage right. That is outrageous. How do they have two attorneys on the jury? How do they allow them to not be unanimous on the predicate crimes? I did expect this, but I did not want to say it repeatedly because it was just such a negative outcome that I did not want to acknowledge that they had the power to rig this up so tightly. But they did. And it's individual idiots like these, you know, that the fact that they're allowed to exercise their stupidity that allows crap like this to happen, that get jurors like that. Unbelievable.
Think you got enough over here? I got the reactive.
Yeah, you see, if he had been acquitted, I would bet that side would flood over to this side. They had to have a plan for the acquittal that would make Trump supporters look bad. It's a very, very disappointing moment. I thought we would at least have a hung jury, that there would be one person in there who would be sensible enough to know. These two dogs appear to be in love.
Oh yeah, I got them all.
Look at that. Well, we'll see these black-clad weirdos around the city somewhere else. But this was just a disgraceful showing by all measures, by everybody involved. That is very disappointing. Lawfare defeats Trump. Very, very bad. The destruction that Joe Biden and his supporters have brought to this country, I just don't have words. You know, those people who have to disguise themselves with the Trump hat to deceive the people around them. This is what it's all about. That guy has the First Amendment, but he's got to do it in such a way that he can't be upfront about it because they are deceitful, underhanded, devious scumbags. And they prove that in everything they do, including this verdict. This is an incredibly bad day. Now we got all these police helicopters flying around. Why? Just unbelievable. Well, the next thing that needs to happen, though, is that Trump just needs to win anyway. Then win the appeal. Then throw all of these scumbags in jail. But this is definitely not good. Not the outcome that we wanted. And it just galvanizes the fact that we have no justice in America. You get a mean, ornery judge, which is so far every single one of them that I've seen, and they can just do whatever they want. Forget about the law. Forget about the fact that the law says the jury has to be unanimous on these things. He decides no. 55 pages of instructions that they can't read. A friggin' convicted felon and a prostitute. And he doesn't even, most people don't even know that Costello testified. Of course, the cops are still texting. Just such an incredibly disappointing outcome. Thanks everyone for watching the live stream. I'm not gonna hang out there and interview a bunch of dopes about how delighted they are that criminality has won the day. Everybody knows that Norm lied. Norm knows that he lied. None of these people can answer a question honestly. None of them know the facts. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Please become a sponsor on odyssey.com/@crowdsourcethetruth, crowdsourcethetruth.substack.com, or subscribestar.com, or patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth. I knew that they were going to convict him, but I did not want to say that. I knew that the cheating and the lawfare, it's powerful. I mean, when somebody can cheat, when somebody is the referee and they control the rules, how do you beat that? Even if the law and the facts are on your side, this court did not rely on the law or the facts. That is how lawfare works. This is such a bad problem. Setting aside Trump, every single person can be subjected to this same exact crooked process. You know, this is like the King of England. If he doesn't like you, you're guilty. They are playing with fire. Anyway. Whoops. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have as good a day as you can.